It's going to be fun. I'm so goddamn ready to get a PS5 now, boys.
All right.
You're
I
gonna get one?
I need to play Spider-Man
The day
2.
we record this, it is Spider-Man 2's Eve.
It's
Yeah,
the eve?
We are
oh my God,
2
yeah,
hours
tomorrow's
away.
the 20th, isn't it?
It's 2 hours away.
I'm gonna buy it tomorrow probably.
Patrick, you on Facebook? I looked at it this week, like $400 PS5.
This has been an insane year for games, and tomorrow's further proof of that because it's Spider-Man 2 and the Super Mario Wonder,
Are you
the
laughing
new
because
2D one.
because you kind of
Because
like
I fumbled a word.
You know what you should do, Patrick? Once you get your PS5, you buy that game, but then what you do is you get the yearly subscription to the PlayStation Plus thing, the new thing, which is like you'll have like 100+ games, PS4 and PS5 to download for free and just not for free. You pay for the streaming, the subscription fee or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like $100 a year, $120 a year.
You can finally play God of War.
You can play God of War.
Last of Us 2.
So
yeah,
behind.
and the Horizon Zero Dawn games
Horizon
are on
Zero
there.
Dawn.
There's
Is Ghost of
Guardians
Tsushima
of the
on there?
Galaxy, the new one's just on there.
Oh, okay.
Isn't Uncharted on there?
Yeah,
I played all the games,
The
yeah.
Last of Us is on there. There's so many games on there that are just like kind of like free to stream, download.
Yeah.
Apparently, the new PS5 model they just announced recently,
Slim,
the
right?
Slim thing, is supposed to be coming this year. And the rumor or the leak that just happened today is that there's going to be a bundle, like with Spider-Man 2. So, in theory, you could just get the bundle
I
with.
mean, if I'm going to get a PS5, might as well get the newest hardware, right?
The Slim would be cheaper than the
That's actually
original?
been kind of pissing some people off, as the Slim is basically on par
It's not
with
cheaper at
the
all?
other ones. Not
like $50 or
really.
something?
Well, it's the way it's annoying people too, because it's the thing that comes with like the detachable disk drive. So like
Oh,
the thing that
interesting.
you put discs into,
Yeah.
you can take it on and off. So
pretty
there's
cool.
Why do people not like that?
Well, it's just kind of like nickel and diming PlayStation shit, where I think it's like, this is maybe even American prices, but I think it's like $450 for.
It's American for sure.
It's
dude.
$450 for the one that comes with the detachable disc
Yeah.
thing. You could buy the one without, which is only
$399?
$400.
So that
But
would be, that
if
would
you
be
want to buy
$599.
the disc thing,
Mm.
it's $80.
Oh.
I think it's not
For the
about
disc
$40.
thing by itself?
Why would anyone buy the detachable?
Well, that's the thing. They're kind of like enticing you of like spend $450 and get it with the disc drive.
Oh, I see.
Or spend $400 plus $80
But
to
who-
get it
yeah.
afterwards.
I see.
So then it's like $30 more. But that's also if you care about
Sure.
physical, like having the
But
disc slot.
I think usually when it comes to like consoles and shit like that, I found that like it's to convert to the Canadian, it's like $200 more basically. So I think like if it's like $400 there or like $399 there, it'll be like $599 here.
Yeah,
for
something
the,
like
for
that.
the Slim without the disc drive or whatever. I'm sure you wouldn't really care for a disc drive to be honest.
I don't think I need
And
that.
it also,
Yeah,
it depends too, because for all you know, like when the new one comes out, because they've also said that the PS5 as it is right now, when that runs out, they're not making any more of those. Like it's
Yeah.
just going to be this new slim one. So there's also there's a chance that like if you wait till the new one's out by Christmas, like the ones that are out now that people are trying to sell might be slightly discounted if you're going like with a used one.
Or they go, this is not
collector's
getting
item.
collectors not getting made anymore.
Yeah.
We're gonna raise the
If I were
price
you,
on
I'd
this.
just do what Malcolm was saying and just try to find one that's like in good condition that's on Facebook.
Yeah, because you don't necessarily need a brand spanking
No.
new one as long as
I
it
think I
works.
want it.
If you want it, then by all means.
I'm the same.
I want to outperform all of your PS5.
Well,
outperform. Are you saying the Slim one you want?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that'd
and
be
then you
cool.
can get the Spider-Man 2
It's like
Maybe
bundle.
the
when I-
speed would outperform, but
Yeah.
Sure.
nothing online.
Is it better spec wise, or is it just like a slimmer model?
I think the only difference is it has a terabyte hard drive space instead of like 750 or whatever the fuck the base
Oh,
PS5
okay.
is. So it's
I don't
more
think you're gonna need that
storage.
much.
What did he get me from California again? You
What
got
did
me a
I
shirt,
get you? I
right?
got you the Warner Brothers shirt. Yeah.
It's a
Why?
very random thing to
Lose
say.
it?
I didn't lose it. I was looking at the hat and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Anyway,
hat.
I know.
But,
I know.
Well,
I know. Malcolm's first topic involves food, and we don't want it to get cold.
Yeah, we
so
don't want to
can
dilly dally
wrap it
here.
up.
But so long
Alright.
story short, Spider-Man 2, Mario's out tomorrow too. In a week is Alan Wake 2.
Patrick's
It's a
cheap.
fucking great year to be games.
Patrick's cheap?
Patrick's
Hell
cheap.
yeah.
That I want to get the
Patrick's
newest
cheap. Start the
PS5?
show. Patrick's cheap. Start the show. Welcome back to episode 32 of Wildly Adequate, the show about anything, everything, usually nothing. You get the gist by
That was
now.
quick.
I am
Yeah,
one
yeah.
quarter of your
Yeah,
hosting
yeah.
crew, Mr. Matthew Arso, and I am joined, as always.
So I was editing the episode that's coming out.
That's not your name.
I was editing the episode that was coming out this Saturday, and when I introduced myself in that episode, Mark goes, "Why do you say your full name?"
Yeah.
And every single time without fail, he says, "Mr. Matthew Urso." So why?
Oh,
Like, why are you
he says
pointing
that?
me out? Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I don't know if I always toss in the mister. Do I?
I guess I have
Almost every
I guess
single
I
time.
have. I guess I have hate in my heart for you specifically.
So who are you?
Kind of like that guy with my dad
That's
last
right.
week.
Yeah. You should say your middle names as well.
Patrick George Fahim.
There we go.
Okay, Mark.
Malcolm.
And gang's all here. Malcolm, please take us away. I'm excited.
All right.
Alrighty.
I got 12 chicken tenders here from Popeyes. Good old Popeyes yummy tenders.
Are we gonna get to eat all of them?
I mean, obviously we're gonna have to split them because 12 for 3 each.
Yeah, that's cool.
So what we're gonna have to do is, I want each of us to take one tender at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
take just a neutral bite, no sauce, and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Mm.
And then, with the rest of the tenders, we're gonna take the 2 tenders that we each have split them in half, and then use each half to dip into each sauce. And then I want us to rate each sauce on a scale of 1 to 10.
I already
Okay.
know which one I'm
Can
going
you
to
explain to me what sauces we have here
show
today?
the
We
camera over
have blackened ranch.
My only one I've ever had and my favorite.
We have wild honey mustard.
Interesting.
They have just ranch.
We
by the
have
way.
bold barbecue and
Okay.
buttermilk ranch.
Buttermilk.
That
Buttermilk.
sounds
Now-
good.
I'm curious to see which one's better between the buttermilk and the blackened.
Before we get into this,
Yeah.
one of the driving reasons as to why I think Popeyes is not
Here we go.
all that is, and this is actually crazy the more I think about it,
Okay.
they don't offer a sweet and sour sauce.
Cares.
They don't offer it.
Let's
Who
move on.
does?
And that's how,
All right, let's move on.
Who does offer sweet and sour?
and that's
All
how,
right, let's move on.
that's how God intended fried chicken to be eaten.
No, he didn't. You know why?
Sweet and sour
You know
sauce?
why? Because not most chicken places don't have a sweet and sour
KFC
sauce.
has a plum sauce, which is its
Okay,
version of a
I
sweet and
understand,
sour
but
sauce.
people with chicken.
Harvey's has a sweet and sour sauce.
I'm
Who
not,
gives
I'm
a
not,
shit about
Mary
Harvey's?
Brown's has a sweet and
just
sour
because they
sauce.
have them doesn't mean that it's like.
This is the one.
I know, but I'm saying like when you think of chicken dipping sauces, you have like barbecue's like up there, and then you have ketchup, and then you have like ranch, and those are like the most popular. So like I'm not saying it's like I'm just saying I don't even know what I'm
What
saying.
are you saying?
I think you're
I don't know what I'm
correct
saying.
in that Popeyes might be the outlier. However, it's not like they're missing like ketchup.
Yeah.
Is I
Yeah.
guess what I'm
It
saying.
doesn't-
They
it's
had
pretty
it
much-
for
It's
free.
pretty much missing ketchup.
Matty just jogged my mind, and now that's exactly what I was trying to say. It's not like they're missing like a core.
My
sauce.
point is that people don't actually know. Oh my God, that's 12.
Oh,
That's like
baby.
50 in there.
Oh baby!
That's okay.
All
We'll
right,
dig
I
in.
want everybody to take one and take a bite.
Raw dog.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna say from the outset, I am not a Popeyes person. These are still piping hot.
As somebody who enjoys Popeyes tenders, this is the shit.
I also enjoy Popeyes tenders. Try not to enjoy
Come on.
Patrick.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Just finish the whole thing.
It's
first.
a solid piece of white meat.
Eat the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm eating this whole fucking thing.
I really don't want to.
Why?
I know my rating right off the bat. 5.5 out of 10.
Okay.
That's my
Crazy.
rating, and that's my honest
What's
to
the
God.
KFC tender.
Like KFC's
raw?
easily raw. I don't think I've had one raw. I think every single one I've had has been dipped in the plum sauce.
The thing is-
I'm not gonna lie.
The
to
thing
you.
is that this is good raw, nothing on
Mm-hmm.
it.
This is scary mediocre raw.
Okay. Well,
Okay, my score for the plain chicken strip from Popeyes is a 7.5.
I have to ask. What are we ranking? I know it's out of 10, but like in what sense? Like just
How good it is for you?
Compared to
Flavor.
other fried chicken.
so
right?
just by itself,
like
like
how
this
good-
tender.
Like to
Okay.
me, that was like really good,
nothing
but-
is by itself. The only way to rate
I mean,
something
obviously
is
you're-
in relation to other
I mean,
things. You
that's
can't rate
true.
something in a
But you're
vacuum.
rating it by separately from all the other ones, but you're comparing it to them.
I'm not even thinking. I'm
Sure.
just thinking, how much did I like that?
Sure.
7.5.
That's
Yeah,
an
and how can you
easy.
I
gauge
understand.
it
I understand.
That's an easy 7.5.
Me as well.
compared to all other fried chicken tenders.
That's a 7.5.
Okay,
I mean,
five,
it's-
5.5.
Let's just leave it at
It's
that.
a 7.8.
5.5.
It's a 7.8 for me.
7.8.
Interesting. I like how granular we're getting
All right,
with it.
now which sauce are we gonna start
What
with?
does everyone want to start with?
I want to start with the.
I'm gonna use this.
You know
tender,
what?
by the way.
I would like to save the blackened ranch for last.
I want to start with the buttermilk.
I
purely
want to start with the
because-
ranch.
I want to start
Butter-
with the ranch.
let's start with
Buttermilk
buttermilk.
ranch.
No, I want to start with the regular ranch.
There is no
Black and
regular
ranch?
ranch.
Regular
Butter.
ranch, just buttermilk.
Oh,
it's black
buttermilk
ranch,
ranch.
sorry.
Yeah.
Let's
All
go with
right,
buttermilk.
start with the buttermilk
Now,
ranch.
now you'll notice that when you look at the buttermilk, it's like completely white, whereas the blackened has that kind of like peppery.
Okay.
All right, let's get in here.
So, do you guys
Alright,
mind if
we'll
I
pass
like
it
double
around.
dip here?
No, go ahead.
I don't care.
All right, let's get in here.
Can I say one
Here,
thing about
let's pass it around.
Popeyes and their tenders though?
I'll wait to bite
Like
it.
most places, I would assume way overpriced.
I'll
For
wait to
sure.
bite it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't want
in
this
general.
was, this
might as
was
well get a
$30.
sandwich.
$30.
Jeez.
Can we like cheers in the
Thank you,
middle before we?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna dip
Dink
my
it and
after
sink
Matty's
it.
here.
Oh,
We're not.
I hope we don't.
Not copyrighting.
Anyone dropping? So I hope
Okay.
no one drops.
3,
Alright.
2, 1.
Cheers,
fellas.
That's significantly better than the raw.
I'm gonna double dip here.
Go ahead.
That's real good.
No, again, I'm curious to see how that was gonna compare.
Don't finish the whole tender because you need the other half for the next
yeah.
one.
I'm still on my first one, so I can go crazy.
Yeah, you can
Or-
go crazy.
Go
hey,
crazy.
Hey, that's oily, right? On our tablecloth.
Yeah.
Oily on our tablecloth.
What do you want me to do with it?
Give it in your hand.
Put it on my lap.
That
For me,
hmm
8.5.
8.5 as well.
6.
What?
What are you talking about?
6.
Now consider that you were a 5.5 before.
What's the flavor? I can't describe what I'm tasting right now. It's like tangy,
It's
right?
tangy.
It's a weird
That
like.
tang is good.
I'm not crazy about the tang.
Really? That's
Okay.
that's exactly what I like
That's
about
what's
it.
bringing it down for me. If I'm being honest.
I think the tang
Really?
is. I think the tang is divisive. I think some people are gonna like that. Some people are just gonna dislike the tang.
Because you know what it is? It almost like when I first bit into it, it almost gave me a sense of like I'm eating like candy or like a treat.
Yeah,
I don't
didn't
know
get
why,
that.
Yeah,
That's a little weird.
but
Hon-
I'm,
that's significant.
but I'm not. I'm gonna be a 6 on
The
that.
That's
tender
so bad.
with that is a 7.5 for me.
Okay.
All right.
Wow, it really brought it up 2 points
Alright.
for you.
Yeah.
Next,
that's
let's
good.
go. Wow. You know what? You have paper?
Do you want to write this down?
I do want to write it down.
Use
I
Mark's
wanna see
phone,
which
bro.
sauce is the best.
My phone's like charging. It's on the floor, plugged in.
Oh.
If only we had easy access to that sheet of paper across the room.
Dude, I'm so hungry. I'm
pen
gonna
that
eat
was
this whole
lying there.
thing. I'm gonna eat this whole thing.
I'm on my
The
second
whole
tendy,
thing.
boys.
This is so crummy. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make a mess.
So everyone gets 3 tenders, right?
And if you're at home, play along with us. Go out and get a pause the podcast. Go out and get a bunch of fucking tenders.
That was buttermilk ranch, right?
yeah, so I said 7.5.
Me and you said.
So wait,
What
wait,
about-
we're
but
rating
what
the
about the raw
tender
one?
in the sauce, or are we rating the
Yeah.
sauce?
No, the experience.
I think
the
it's
experience.
combined.
Yeah,
Both.
combined.
The combined
Okay,
experience.
so we had a
Okay.
7.5 from you.
I'm gonna change my. I'm gonna keep a solid 8 for me.
8. Okay.
That's fair.
Matty.
6, please.
6 and 8.5.
Are you taking into account the raw tender?
I will after, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so that dampened your. He's not a sauce guy. I keep forgetting he's not. A sauce.
Yeah.
But I like the blackened ranch.
Next.
Spoiler alert, when we get to the blackened ranch, that's going to elevate the experience.
Wild honey mustard.
I've never tried it.
I've never
I've
tried.
I'm
this.
excited about
I've
that
never
one.
tried any of these except for barbecue.
I don't
Wow.
remember trying this one.
Okay. Don't eat it yet. It's all.
It's yummy.
God
Yeah,
damn,
we're gonna
Malcolm's
cheers
taking,
all of them?
Malcolm's
That's
taking
right.
a dip.
We'll eat
I
at
have
the
a
same
big
time.
piece
I
of
like that
tender
the
here.
twisty end of yours.
Thanks, man.
It's doing something to me.
It's getting Mark going. Boy, you guys are taking these
All right, here we
fucking
go.
dunks. It's
I wanna-
like,
I wanna
what if it
taste it.
tastes like shit?
Okay, ready?
Yep.
3,
All right, here we
2,
go.
1.
Salute.
Okay. Okay.
Now,
That twisty end was not even a little bit chicken.
Oh,
now
go.
here's the problem with that. I'm not a mustard guy to begin with.
That wasn't. I like honey mustard. That wasn't honey mustardy enough.
Yeah, that just seems like straight up mustard in a plastic.
Patrick, you want to pass
package.
me the black or the buttermilk ranch again so I can dip that? The rest of my tender in there. Yep.
Nah, that ain't it, Chief.
Okay. I have my answer.
What's your answer, Mark? Bro, you took such a big dip that I need to like sink
Sure.
mine so deep to like get
Sure.
anything.
If raw was a 7.5 for me, and the other ranch was 8.5, that to me was as good as it was raw. I'd say 7.5.
Really?
5.5,
Mine was-
please.
5.5.
It's an 8.
8.
Higher than the buttermilk.
Higher than the buttermilk.
I'm going 6.
That
That was
That was so good.
eating that was
I liked it.
worse than the raw tender.
Do you want to just like add up the scores, or
Yeah,
like
at the
we'll
end,
do it
yeah.
in the end and see how we go?
I liked it.
I like the smokiness of that.
It does have a
What's it
smokiness.
called? Wild honey mustard.
Wild honey mustard.
It was smoky and it was
Wild, dude.
Bold
Oh,
barbecue.
I'm hyped for. I've never tried the barbecue from Popeye.
Here's my
for my next time.
here's my prediction. I think the barbecue is gonna be the worst of all of them. I
Wow.
normally love barbecue sauce.
You think it's
but
gonna be basic?
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna take away from the experience. I'm not gonna
I think blackened ranch is gonna take it home.
Oh
what
God,
I
I can't
believe.
wait. I'm ecstatic.
Oh no, Patrick.
Wow, Patrick's tender's falling apart. Let's
And
get in
then
there with some
taste the
barbecue.
Dip it up.
Okay, ready?
Hey, bada boo, bada bay.
Let's go.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't get. I only got skin.
6. My answer is 6. Like, I don't think any of you guys could argue that you want more. Is that what you said? No.
It's the worst one for me. 7.
It's the worst one.
I was 7.5 for the raw, 6 for the buttermilk, 5.5. I'll say 7.
Wow, I like it.
I'm going 7 as well.
I didn't mind the barbecue. Again, I'm not a big barbecue. All this boils down to, like you said, Patrick, I'm just not the biggest sauce person, with rare exception.
Yeah, that's why I think the audience. That's why I think the audience should disregard all your scores.
Patrick Mark.
7.
Oh, I
7?
said 6.
7. Wow. Okay. 7, 7, 6.
And I'm the one that loves barbecue sauce the most at this table, I think.
Yeah, you do.
Probably.
I'd buy that.
All right. Blackened ranch.
Have you tried the blackened ranch?
I have never tried that.
Get ready.
Okay, wait. How much tender does everybody have left?
I have
I'm on my second.
I'm on my 3rd.
Patrick has a whole tender
I am also
left
on
for
my
himself.
3rd. Are you on your 3rd, Malcolm?
I'm on my 3rd. Yeah.
No,
Okay,
we're on
so
our
you
3rd.
still have one more. Okay,
So there's
Patrick,
still-
do me a
there's an
favor.
extra
Or
on
everybody,
there.
you two, since we're on our last ones, save a little bit of tender for after this, just because I have a idea.
Okay.
Oh, mixing. Oh, the blackened.
Oh, I can't
Look at
wait.
it. I love.
It's like the orangey
This
kind of.
looks
Oh
good,
wow.
bro.
Have you never had the blackened ranch?
Who saw
Oh,
the-
Patrick, this is
know
what
if
I get.
I don't know if I've had the KFC one. Looked different to me. I don't
This
know.
is what I get every time I go to Popeyes.
Yeah, a healthy dip. Okay,
Healthy
ready?
dip.
3, 2, 1.
Job. Oh, fuck. Now that right there is delicious.
I'm gonna be real.
Don't lie to us.
I liked the buttermilk ranch more. I like the buttermilk. It has a more intense flavor. This was very subtle to me. It's good. Give me that. Can I get that buttermilk, Patrick? Is there anything left in that buttermilk?
This is the buttermilk.
Honestly, they're both the same for me. They were both really good. Really, really good.
Malcolm, I'd like
Buttermilk?
an 8.5, please.
Try the buttermilk again. Try it again.
8.5.
Have
I'm
a
also
look.
going 8.5. That was my score.
I'm
for
going
the buttermilk.
5.9.
5.9.
5.9
Wow.
for the
Say
blackened.
6, you
I
coward.
can't.
try that.
I can't. It's not better than. It's
Mark.
not the same as the barbecue sauce. I said 6 for the
Fucking
barbecue sauce.
dirt.
8? Okay. All right. Maddie,
That
we
was the
all
worst
have-
sauce for me.
We have
Our half
pieces
tender.
left.
Okay, I would like to pour all 4 of these sauces onto this and swirl them up into a paste and then
Do it.
have us do it
Do
because, let's be gross. Why not? Get some of your buttermilk on there.
This
Is that yours, Patrick?
And
this
some-
I don't have
this is
any
my
left,
third one
though.
now.
Oh, so that's.
Did you eat all of yours?
That's up for grabs, I guess.
Okay. You want to split it with me?
This
Hey,
is my
Mark, you
third
want
one.
to split that with
Oh.
me? Because I only have a
Sure.
small piece left. I'm just going to put this in my mouth.
How did you guys get through 3? What the heck?
Here, split. Rip it in half.
What about Matty? Doesn't he get some? Shouldn't he get some of that?
I think I'm on my 3rd, though.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Could one of you do me a favor, though, and use your tender to, start mixing this shit up? Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's so much more blackened
Yeah,
ranch
that
and
was
everything
that
else.
was the ratios were off. Hold on, let me add some more barbecue.
Let me get everyone's raw score again.
5.5.
7.5, please.
Mark?
There's like no.
For raw?
Yeah, was it 8?
I think it was 7.5.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
So all of Popeye's sauces at once.
All the Popeye sauces
Okay, here we
in
go.
one
Mega
Good.
sauce.
god awful amalgamation.
The mega sauce.
That just looks wrong. That just looks abhorrent.
Ready?
Oh,
3.
yeah.
Cheers,
I'm
fellas.
sure it'll taste fine.
Chicken.
Oh.
Honestly?
Mainly barbecue to me.
Honestly, that was really good.
It's actually not abhorrent.
And I'm
It's
enjoying
better
it.
than the blackened ranch by itself.
Fuck you.
I was surprised how much I didn't like the blackened ranch. I liked it. It was good, but the buttermilk was better. No,
You know what this is to me? This is like when I was a kid and I'd take all the different colored freezies and let them all melt till they turn to juice and then just pour all the juices into a glass and just drink it. Fucking all the freezy flavors at once.
My
'cause I'm
score's a
sociopath.
7.5
For what?
for that.
Oh, for this?
Oh, we're ranking.
Let's rank
Yeah,
it.
I'd say so. 7.5.
6.5. Patrick's going for more.
Give me 1 second.
I wish we had way more of those.
I know.
7.2.
Wow.
All right.
All right, so let's see what we got here.
I'm sure I can add this up in my head.
Let's get some totals.
Mark, we need your calculator, dog. On
He's
your
adding it up.
phone.
He's adding it up.
He's gonna take a while to add the decimals, I think.
So while Malcolm does math,
Oh yeah, you need decimals. Here, wait. Let me just do it on my phone.
There's not many decimals.
Once I finish this, there's no more sauce left.
Me. Oh,
I just want to bite.
You get a bite as well.
Mark, bite.
Did you want to bite
Wait,
too?
Mark
just
by
take a
half
bite.
last.
Oh, here.
Malcolm, get in there.
You left him no chicken.
Just breading.
All right. 7.5.
Listeners at home, how do you like these food
You know
topics?
what I just internalized before
We're
you say
chewing
this?
right into the mic.
Before you say this, you know what I just internalized to the max right now? That was okay. That was pretty good. Popeyes isn't as bad as I always,
No, it's not.
make it out to be.
Mhm.
But then I think back to when I had KFC last with the tenders, and I remember their slogan, "Finger licking good." They're literally finger licking. I don't want to lick my fingers right now. I'm like kind of like sick of it. But with KFC, I have 6 tenders. I body them. I
Okay,
wanna-
to me,
need to do the same thing for
to me,
We do.
the more I like that recent experience I had with KFC, makes me push towards the KFC side of it being better over. Like to me, I definitely agree that
Oh, baby.
I definitely agree that the chicken's better overall. I still will die on the hill of the sides being better at Popeyes, but when it comes down to the important chicken, it's better.
The chicken
so
don't
7
matter, baby.
Okay, 7.5, 8, 6, 8.5.
And that, what is that for?
Buttermilk Ranch.
Okay, so Buttermilk Ranch finishes with a total of 30.
Okay.
30 out of a total 40.
Yeah. 7.5.
Yep.
5.5.
Yep.
8.
Yep.
And 6.
7.5, 5.5, 8, 6 is 27. What's that for?
Wild honey mustard.
Okay.
As it should be.
27.
As it should be.
Wait, the dull is 30 better than the
What?
the
No,
ranch?
buttermilk is 30.
Buttermilk Ranch.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting to me, by the way? That after I tasted all of them, I think I like the honey mustard like about the same as the buttermilk, as the blackened ranch.
I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
I like the honey mustard the best.
yeah.
Bold barbecue already did. It's 27. Same as wild honey mustard.
Tied.
Mm.
Okay.
All right. And then blackened ranch is 8.5.
Mm.
8.5.
Oh wow.
5.9.
Mm.
Crazy. And 8.
30.9.
Hey, let's go.
The winner by a very
Stupid,
small
bro.
margin.
Are you happy that you gave it that 0.9 to push
All right.
it
We
over?
still have.
What about the raw dog?
Let's do the raw and the mix
Okay.
sauce.
Raw
We'll
is
do
what?
mixed sauce first. So 7.5,
This is
Okay.
for mixed.
7.5,
Okay.
6.5,
Okay.
and 7.2.
28.7.
It's pretty close.
So the mix is higher than buttermilk and the wild honey.
Yeah.
No way the mix is better than buttermilk ranch.
Yeah. Mix
These
is
two weren't.
mix is
like-
better than bold barbecue and wild honey mustard.
I think that mix is actually better than the bold barbecue, but I don't think it's better than the honey mustard or the buttermilk ranch. What's
Okay.
buttermilk ranch at?
Buttermilk ranch is at 30.
Oh, it's higher. Okay.
and
honey mustard's
blackened
at
ranch
20.
is the highest.
What's
5.9.
what's honey mustard at again?
Honey mustard.
Yeah.
It's 27.
What the?
Ooh.
Honey mustard's really good, actually. It was
It's
good.
so good. Yo, bump your score up a
And
little
the
bit. What was my
crowd.
score?
I don't know.
Let's doctor the
And
numbers.
the
here.
crowd.
What are our scores for
The
honey mustard?
hush falls over
Mine
the
was
crowd.
6.
Okay.
Maddie's was 5.5.
Oh my god.
That's
and
why.
then one of you had 7.5 and one of you had 8.
I had 8. I did
I had
8.
7.5. I would bump it up to an 8.
Bump it up.
All right, so that just makes it 27.5.
Too late.
Okay.
gotta
Okay.
both go
And what was the
Wild,
raw dog?
All right, raw
yeah.
is 5.5, right?
Fucking
Weird.
insane.
7.5, 8, and 7.5.
Who said 8 for raw dog?
I did.
Yeah,
And
it was a
you said 7.5?
Yeah.
I also said
You're the
7.5.
maniac?
They're good.
Wait, no, wait. We said 7.5. You said 8.
No, you and me were 7.5 and he was 8.
28.5 higher than.
Hey,
Wow.
Buttermilk. Or no, higher,
honey mustard.
higher than honey mustard.
That's crazy.
You know what I will say?
That is
Fuck.
crazy.
What I will say is that once we went back to when there was that little piece of dry chicken after,
Mm-hmm.
it was so bad compared to the dipping. When I started with the
Yeah.
regular, I was like, oh, it's fine. I didn't know what I was missing. And then when we had the sauces, I was like, this is pretty
So
good.
now I'm not so
When
crazy for saying 5.5
For the regular,
for the without
I
any
don't think
sauce.
so. I
Yeah.
think that I would be in and around a 6.5 now that I've had time to think.
I think I want to try KFC really bad and see what you guys are talking.
Go.
KFC's
I
crazy,
haven't had
bro.
KFC
Let's go right-
in
let's go right-
1,000 years,
It's
so
crazy.
we need to do this again
Let's go right
like,
now.
with KFC.
Let's go to KFC right now.
No.
If you order KFC right now and make it your topic, I'm down.
No,
Order.
Well, was there anything else, Malcolm, or was that it?
That's it.
right,
Best
that was
best sauce is blackened ranch.
Oh,
Let's
You
go.
know what we've
Yes.
learned? We've learned that ranch is king, whether blackened or buttermilk.
Blocking.
Actually,
Blocka.
we
Blocka,
didn't include ketchup.
What is that from? Blocka Blocka. Is that from something?
Waka Flocka Flame.
Waka Flocka.
Blocka.
I
I
go
don't-
hard.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think of Hannibal Buress doing that on Eric Andre.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that we learned that like ranch in general is just a really good dipping for.
Yeah, I mean, not the best, but you know.
It's real good.
I mean, from my personal score,
Your
it's not
favorite
the
wasn't
best.
buttermilk?
My favorite was honey mustard.
Okay, I want to do one more thing. Everyone rank from favorite to least favorite. I'll start. buttermilk ranch.
Okay.
And then surprisingly, I'm gonna go honey. That was surprising to me. And then third, I'll go blackened. Fourth, I'll go barbecue. And then fifth, I'll go plain.
I'm going buttermilk.
Number 1.
Yeah. And then blackened.
Okay.
And then honey mustard, then barbecue.
So you're the same as me, but just flipping the honey mustard and the blackened.
Honey mustard is at the bottom for you?
No, honey mustard's second place.
Barbecue's at the bottom for him.
I put
barbecue at the bottom.
Oh.
Me too. I'm buttermilk. Then
So what are we flipping?
we flip.
Because he has blackened.
I have blackened
last.
third. You have blackened second.
Oh yeah.
Blackened, barbecue, buttermilk, honey mustard.
Wait, your bottom 2 are what?
Buttermilk and honey mustard.
great.
Those are the 2 best.
Honey,
Two best.
honey,
Bottom
honey mustard, buttermilk, barbecue, blackened.
Kill yourself.
Blackened at the bottom?
Yeah.
Blackened was good though.
Blackened
I
was
think
by
I feel
far
like
the
you're just being
worst.
a contrarian. You're just like
I
everyone
swear to
loved-
God, no.
I know, but I also didn't really love blackened.
Yeah.
I just thought because they loved it, so like Matty was like, talking
My
about
honest
it.
to God feelings on it.
Okay.
I think somebody should find you in a dark parking garage at night with a crowbar and have
Is
at
that
you.
someone you?
Yeah, how do you like your kneecaps?
Well, anyways,
Okay,
Alright,
bye.
alright,
Chicken.
that's it.
Okay, bye.
Fun stuff.
ladies and gentlemen in the audience, for my topic, if you have kids, please don't let them listen to this topic. And if anybody in the audience has a hot mom,
Ooh.
don't let them watch this topic either, because I
What
wouldn't
is
want them. I
happening?
wouldn't want them to think any less of me. Gentlemen, fuck, cunt, shit, piss ass cocksucker, bastard bitch, asshole, taint, scrotum. I want to talk about swear words. I want to talk about some of our
He goes-
favorite
He
swear
says all
words.
that. He goes, I want to talk about, and it's like something completely
I
different.
want to talk about, Bible studies. No, I want to talk about swear words. I want to talk about some of our favorite swear words. I want to talk about some of our least favorite swear words. And, kind of like what we think of swear words, because I've got thoughts.
Okay,
And, let's just
this
get
is,
into it.
This is crazy to me. You have a favorite swear word?
I think so. I think I have
Do
two
we all
favorite.
have a favorite swear word?
I don't.
I think I have two favorite swear words.
Okay, let's hear it.
I mean, I have one that I use most commonly, but I don't know if I'd like say it's a favorite.
It's kind of a basic bitch answer, but I like a good fuck.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
As a slight, not dark horse necessarily,
An underdog.
but maybe a bit of an underdog is cunt. Purely
I don't really hear you say it
because
ever,
of
though.
the sting of it. I just like that,
So stingy.
in Australia, for example, oi cunt, nobody cares.
Yeah.
But I like that in this, in our part of the world, Canada,
Yeah.
it's perceived as like one of the worst things you could say to somebody, and I like that it's got that edge. It's got that sharp. Because like a lot of people, if you're like, you asshole, they're like, okay, whatever. But like if you were going to somebody, it's like, you fucking cunt. And
Every
be
time
like,
he says it, my
that's what I'm
inside
saying,
churn, bro.
right? And that's part of what I want to get into with this whole topic. But that's what I'm saying, where it's got that, it's got that sharpness to it.
Staying.
It's got that.
Speaking
it's got
of
that sting.
cunt, when I was watching The Exorcist, that was one of the words that really stood out to me when the possessed girl was like, "Fuck my cunt."
And that was in the 70s, so there were definitely some people watching that in the theater
Yeah.
being like, well, I never. Clutching their pearls and shit. Bunch of fucking nannies.
Never.
Yeah, exactly. But so swear words. So you don't have like a favorite?
I'm not gonna lie.
My favorite would mean like I love using it. It's my
Sure.
go-to.
Not even, but it could mean other, like it could make you laugh, or it could just,
I've always liked a good bastard.
I was gonna say, bastard's another one. Like I like a good bastard
You know
from
what?
time to time.
To me, I don't know if this would be counting as a swear word. Like scumbag is hilarious to me. I love that one.
There's things on like the periphery, like scumbag, that I like, or I always, and I've talked about this with some of our work friends, but I like idiot. Like just a good and I always think of, I know I haven't shown it to you guys yet, but in the most recent Puss in Boots movie, John Mulaney voices the bad guy, or one of the bad guys in the movie, and there's one point where he's basically talking to like Jiminy Cricket, who's in the movie for most of it with him as like his conscience, but because he's the bad guy, Jiminy Cricket's like horrified at all the shit he's doing. And there's one point where Jiminy Cricket just finally snaps and he's like, you're a terrible person. You're like, you're the worst. And just the way John Mulaney delivers the line of like, yeah, what did you think, idiot? Like he says it in a way that it like sounds like it's a swear word. Like it's just got such a perfect cadence. So I get what you're saying with scumbag, where it's like idiot to me is kind of that, where it's like not a swear, but just it hovers on the edges.
I think I was gonna say like I like sometimes hearing like simpleton unironically, but I think idiot is better though. Like simpleton is too posh.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But like
it's
a good like you said, idiot. You idiot. It's like, oh my, you know what I mean? Like it takes you back.
I think something about like swear words in general to me is like, you made an interesting point about you saying it's your favorite would imply that you enjoy saying it, which to me is like, I don't typically enjoy saying swear words because like, let's say for example, I'm like angry at something and I swear, I'm not happy that I'm angry. It doesn't cheer me up to say the swear word.
Yeah.
So it just ends up being like, which one do I say the most often as opposed to which one do I like saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, to me, like something that I've talked about sometimes, and I want to see what you guys think about this, is like the reliance on swear words and how you feel about, swearing too much or maybe not swearing at all.
I feel like we had a conversation with
this
recently.
Because the way I always think about it is like, I don't want to swear too much because I feel like when I listen to someone and they drop an F-bomb every single sentence,
it's like they're not expressing themselves. Like they don't know how to express themselves almost.
Sure, it makes them sound like more unintelligent, that they just don't have the vocabulary to throw in other words.
Yeah.
Like they're just dropping the same word over and over and over again.
I hear that.
So kind of, even if I like swearing sometimes, like when I hear someone like that, I go like, I don't like that. Like that has like, it leaves a bad taste in the mouth.
It's a bit, no, I hear
it's
what
almost
you're saying.
like, not disrespectful, but it's almost like, I don't know, it's not polite. It's a little bit like brash all the time.
No, I
agree.
I'm with you 100% on that one.
But but to me, the beauty of swearing is that if you don't just drop it every sentence, when you do drop it, it means something. Like there's like a little bit of a sting to it compared to if you're just saying it all the time.
That's right.
Like if you're hanging out with someone and they swear every sentence and they're like angry and they say something, you're just like, oh, they're saying it again for the 50th time in the last minute. But if it's like more of a rarity, then to me it performs its function better. Because to me the point of a swear word is to like hit hard. So
yeah, I hear that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh.
Were you gonna say something?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say that I find lately I've been swearing very, very minimally.
Oh, interesting.
I just haven't found myself swearing unless I'm really, really angry, and usually I only find myself really angry at soccer when I'm playing with players.
You just looked at me when I'm playing with
not you
players.
I'm playing with certain players that make me very angry. I find myself swearing my ass off because I can't. It doesn't make sense to me.
To yourself?
Some people can, like out loud, is like really loud, like
insulting somebody.
Yeah, like I like call someone like a fucking idiot, like for not knowing how to take a goal kick. He doesn't watch this.
Okay, let's just see who it is, and then we can cut it out. Who is it?
You don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, doesn't matter then.
But like I agree. Like the less you swear, I feel like the more value it has when you do swear.
The impact is just
more value.
More value. If I don't swear for a month and then I'm so angry at someone, I'd say "fuck you." They're gonna feel it.
You know what it's like. I feel like there's a Louis C.K. bit about this. He talks about the idea of like using the word hilarious or amazing. And he talks about how people overuse certain words. So like he's like telling the story about these guys like in a bar and he's walking into, or like a cafe or something. And this one guy goes like, dude, you won't believe who I saw today. And he goes like, who? And he's like, oh, Josh or whatever. And the other guy goes, oh, that's hilarious. And then he's like, really? That's hilarious? Like hilarious means that it's so funny that you almost lost your mind. Like you almost went crazy and like you were just like in a wheelchair and just like drooling and shit. Like you lost your mind. It was so fucking funny. So like to use words like that or to use swear words so often, it's like, where are you gonna go from there? Like he's like, what happens when something actually amazing happens in your life? So it's like, to me, what happens when you actually mean it, or like when you actually want to represent something? It's like you've already used like a million times on something like little, so now it's just gonna feel like it doesn't hit as hard because it's like you haven't saved it for a situation where it makes sense to use like a heavy word.
I want to go off of that really quick.
Yeah,
that reminds me of the word crazy. I feel like the word crazy is overused, and I know I overuse it so often because crazy means something it's insane. Whenever I think crazy,
unbelievable.
I think of a crazy person just like losing it in public or something, and that's never the case.
People say it every day. It'll be like, bro, that's crazy. This is when someone followed you or something.
Well,
like,
it's the same as like literally. where literally just doesn't mean
I don't like when
literally
people do
anymore.
that a lot, though.
Because every time somebody's talking about it, it's like, I was literally doing this, and it's like...
But the thing is that they were literally doing that, probably.
Yeah, but
sometimes...
that's not a good
Yeah, but
example.
why? No, but no.
But sometimes it is the case, but there's other times where people just throw it in, like, for no reason.
I agree with that. It is a good example of someone being like, I literally did this today. It's like, well, I wasn't going to assume that you figuratively did it.
But
like if you said that you went I literally went shopping today.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, you didn't figuratively go shopping.
But it's
What does that
also
even
in the
mean?
sense of like overusing it, where then if like somebody uses that all the time, but then they're trying to like convey like a more serious thing, it's like, yeah, and then like this thing literally happened, blah blah blah. It's like, well, you fucking use literally so haphazardly
It's
all the
boy
time.
who cried wolf. It's like, how many times are you gonna say that something's literal? Now, when you really want it to mean that it's literal, it's gonna feel like it's just another
I
sentence.
thought I was gonna turn and Malcolm was gonna be on the floor on his ass. I thought the whole chair just broke.
Chair's gone.
Here's the thing. I kind of disagree with you guys in this because I am somebody who, I'm sure you've heard at home, swears a lot. For a couple reasons. I just find swearing like funny, and so to me, I just like it as like seasoning, you know, in like vocabulary and whatnot. To me, it's also a thing, and this is what I also kind of wanted to get into a slightly more like analytical way with swearing, and it's kind of like when I was bringing up cunt and you were like, you feel it kind of thing. I find swearing such a ridiculous premise to me, like as a baseline. The fact that there are words in the English language that everybody collectively is like, no, you can't say that. Because to me, it's like,
just sounds.
it's like shit. What does that mean?
It can mean many things.
But like
At origin.
poop.
Yeah.
What is cock? Penis. So it's like penis isn't a bad
What
word.
is fuck?
Poop isn't a bad word. Fuck, if you're saying like fuck you, but it's usually relating to like sex, which isn't a bad word. So it's like somebody always has to fart at least once an episode, so it's good we got it out. But so it's like these words mean the exact same thing as other words more often than not, or more often than not, even cunt is just like harsh slang for vagina. So it's like, to me, it's just mind-boggling that there are these words that are synonyms for other things, but we look at them like from a societal level and we're like, no.
Are you arguing that because they're synonyms with words that aren't like swear words, then they should not be considered
No,
swear
that's
words?
just
Because
that's part of the
ridiculous.
argument. My argument
That's a ridiculous
You're just saying
argument.
how silly
that's
is it? That
part
it's
of
like,
it. My argument
They aren't
in
swear words because of what they mean, like on a literal level. That's not why they're swear words.
Sure, but my point is they're the same as other words, and my point more so is that people like, not that we care, but like people who are more like uppity about swearing and whatever, if you just didn't care about it, you remove all the power from the words. Like if somebody was like fuck you and you were like okay, whatever, like you instantly, even like take for example, like if we were in school, I'm sure it happened to some of you guys, it for sure happened to me, of like swearing in class or in the cafeteria or something, and the teacher would hear me and like give me shit and whatever and be like, don't do that kind of thing. And it's like, obviously I'm going to continue swearing. But to me, it's just like if you had a little shit kid that was like, blah, 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 shit. And the teacher was like, no, don't say that, blah, blah, blah. And they flip out and whatever. It's like, what's that going to make the kid do? They're just going to say it again. Whereas if you just like ignored it and played it off and were like, who cares? It's just a word. It doesn't mean anything. You deflate it of all the like power. My point is just that
Wait, can you not try to make that argument about like really harsh slurs?
You could too.
Like then if you're going to be consistent, then you have to say like people saying really bad slurs are just kind of like, oh, it's just a word.
Give me an example
we
of a
know
really
which
bad slur
one.
that
We
we
know.
could.
So there's one.
I don't necessarily disagree
Azkaban.
with I don't necessarily disagree with that argument. In a lot of ways, I think it's actually kind of true. The difference, I think, is that because it's a like shit isn't targeted at anything.
There's no historical aspect.
Yeah,
to
there's
it.
no like it's an isolated thing. Whereas like you could make the argument of like if somebody called you a slur and you just like walked it off and didn't flip out and didn't care or whatever, like it takes all the meaning away from that. I think that's true, but it's
There's more to it.
harder said than done, or easier said than done because it's more loaded.
Sure.
Whereas like shit is just
Yeah, I
Shit.
disagree with a lot of what you're saying because for whatever reason, like I understand what you're saying about how words like you can deflate their power by just not caring, but for
Yes.
whatever reason, as a culture, these are the words that are consistently being used in like negative connotations,
and they do
negative,
hit people.
and they hit people because of the choice in which we use these words.
My point,
So
I understand all that.
they become these like rude sort of words to use in particular settings, kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
over many years, they've developed to a place of like they hurt people for a reason, for whatever reason that is. Like to me, it's like,
but that's just a byproduct of culture. Like it could be any words. Like it could be like grass, boat, and whatever. If we decided to use those
exactly,
words,
but that's my point. Is that it's ridiculous to me that tomorrow everybody in society could decide grass was a bad word just as easily as everybody tomorrow could decide that fuck is no longer a bad word.
Why is that ridiculous though?
I'm just saying it's bonkers to me that like we put like that kind of power into some of these words that it doesn't.
I think the reason why we put power into, like, I think all language is powerful. That's the most, I guess, acceptable way for people to express themselves without getting, I guess, charged or something.
I think what he's saying, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is like it's just silly that at the end of the day, a swear word is a bunch of letters, just like how another word that has no bad meaning is a bunch of letters. Like it's kind of silly how we just like arbitrarily decide that this is going to be something that's like impacting really heavily. You know what I'm saying? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to me it's just like it's bonkers that a society full of grown-ass people walks around and is like
doesn't like a certain noise that
we can't say shit kind of thing because it's like considered, you know,
rude,
whatever.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable, to be honest with you.
Sure.
Because
I think both things can be
because
true.
No matter what, like we have language is an expression, and some expressions are negative.
Sure.
So no matter what, you're going to end up with these words
that are. You can't help but offend people.
You can't help it. Exactly.
There's
always going to be a group of words that exist or expressions that exist that are meant to sort of target people. That's what's beautiful
about
people.
Language too, is like that.
Right.
But I guess too, what I'm saying is like you could in theory insult somebody by like name calling them or speaking them to in a way and not use a single swear word.
You could, yeah.
And I guess what I'm just saying is like, having like the designated word thing is weird.
But how often do you see that though without someone using a swear word?
What?
How often do you see someone insulting someone else without using any of the words you mentioned at the very beginning of this clip?
I don't know. I guess it depends. I guess what I'm saying is people do use the swear words because, like, culturally or whatever, we've put the like emphasis on it, you know?
Yeah.
And again, I know you're saying that it's like, yeah, it is what it is, and it's, you know, a byproduct of whatever. To me, it's just like, it seems silly in premise to be like, these words are off limits, but like everything else is fine.
Then what do you mean by off limits? Like you
like they're
cited
like inappropriate.
You cited
like,
an example where you said it in the classroom, and the teacher was like, "Oh, that's inappropriate." I feel like there should be spaces where there shouldn't be vulgar language used, like
for children?
Like for children, for adults even. Like I wouldn't, like, if you go in and you're at a business meeting in a bank, for example, like you shouldn't be like with your banker, I don't know, like dropping
the fucking roof.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just the way I feel about it. I feel like
I
feel like it's sort of teaching sort of formality, like understanding that there are settings that should be formal and
I guess, but to me it's like you're saying, yeah, they should be formal and we shouldn't use these bad words. But my
in
point
certain
is,
settings.
But my point is, if we just didn't consider them bad words anymore, then you could use it in formal language.
But
and
how
it wouldn't
could
matter.
you not consider them? Like, how can we just all magically just not consider them bad words?
Well, that's the thing. It's not like you flip a light switch and kind of thing. I'm just saying, to me, it just, and again, that's what I'm saying. It's easier said than done, but it's just
silly that we consider
to me, just the base premise of in language, there are these words that are like considered no-nos and shit. Yeah. That just base premise to me, I just find like silly in a sense.
I think both of you can be right. I think that like
I just don't know what you mean by no-nos.
I think he's saying like it's
like
it's
you
silly
can't say it on TV or it's rated R in a movie or like, you know, don't say it at the office because it's informal or don't let a kid say it because it's inappropriate. But my point is just like, if you just strip all the meaning from it and just if you let the little kid say shit instead of saying poop.
That's actually crazy. The problem is you can't strip the meaning away from it. What's the point of expressing yourself if there is no meaning to it?
What do you mean? Well, what are we saying by meaning here? Because I'm saying shit is still poop. So if a 5-year-old kid was like, "Teacher, can I go to the bathroom? I have to take a shit." Like if you let that kid say that instead of "I have to go take a poop," like, and nobody reacts to shit and like, "Oh, it's a negative way. Don't say that. You got to say poop instead." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, then it removes.
But the point is
shit
that
being a thing.
The point is that people don't really use shit meaning poop most of the time. It's like you're a piece of shit, but they're kind of like I know that's what the origin is, but most of the time people say this person's a piece of shit They're just saying this person's a bad person.
Sure.
They're not saying this person is a piece of fecal matter or whatever.
Sure.
Like I know that's the origin.
Words like that, I feel like can be used in a lot of contexts. Like shit and fuck can also be used in the bedroom. Like if you're going shit,
Oh boy.
you're going fuck. But you can also be like you're a piece of shit or fuck you.
Yes. Well, and again, to me,
They're versatile is what you're saying.
They're very versatile.
The only thing that kind of flies in the face of what I'm saying that I don't even necessarily buy is, I guess, kind of what you're saying is like, there is also an argument to be made that swear words exist, kind of what you guys were saying before, to like get the point across of like, I'm upset about
It's
this.
an exclamation point.
Or I'm hurt. So like, you know, if you stub your toe and you're like, and somebody's like, oh, are you right? And you're like, yeah, it's no problem. If you fucking stubbed your toe and you're like, fuck, like then it like conveys to everybody around you.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
what's interesting about swear words? Like my parents, my dad swears, but my mom does not swear. And yet, if something bad happened to me and I swore out loud, she wouldn't even be mad because I used it appropriately. I used it as an exclamation point and as like an intense moment. If I stubbed my toe and I was like, shit, fuck, she wouldn't be like, stop saying those things. She'd be like, oh, he got hurt and he's expressing it in a way that makes sense.
My mom would do the opposite. If I said like shit, she goes, why are you swearing?
No, if you said it randomly playing a game, that's different.
No, I mean like if I stubbed my toe or hurt myself or something, she still asks,
really?
she'd be like, why are you swearing?
Like if I actually got hurt, my mom would be like, and I was swearing, my mom would be like, oh, I get it. He's just reacting intensely and it makes sense. But if I'm playing a game and I say it, she goes, that what happened to you in the game
doesn't
didn't
justify
warrant,
it.
Yeah, it didn't warrant that like heavy word. And I like
It's funny because I feel like the psychological pain of dying or
Yeah,
losing
yeah.
in the game is more than stubbing
yeah, but
the
she doesn't
toe.
understand that because she doesn't play video games.
That's right.
Like she thinks that like it's like a very like super casual thing, and I shouldn't care at all. And she's
Yeah.
like, what's wrong with him that he cares this much?
I like how you pointed at your head there.
But
What's
to
wrong
me-
with him?
But to me, I kind of like how she does it because to her, it's like those words maintain weight. But if I were to use them with everything that happens in my life, I drop a swear word, then their weight just kind of dissipates and they're just like any other word. So I kind of like that I kind of like the fact that they have that meaning and they have that. It's kind of the beauty of expressing yourself, like you said, and like kind of, it's just a part of free speech. You're able to, you say something and you're able to express how intensely you feel about something.
Yeah. Aside from the intensity,
Sure.
I still assert that I think it's an inevitability with any language.
Of
that
course.
there's going to be those words. That
Yeah, I mean,
exist.
and they exist for a reason to express certain things. Like there's not like, I'm sure people were like, you know, there has to be something that we could say to express when we're extremely frustrated and we don't want to be polite about it. You know?
Does anyone ever wonder how certain words become swear words? Like sometimes I just think like being a motherfucker isn't always a bad thing to some people. Like if I call you a motherfucker, you go, I do go around fucking.
Patrick's
moms,
like, I'm
I do
into
go around
MILFs.
fucking
Oops.
MILFs.
What is going on here?
Like it could be a good thing.
Oh, but
depending
you
on who
pointed
you
at
are.
me and I thought you were
Well,
making a claim about
I'm giving
me.
you an example.
Oh, okay. Go on.
Obviously, you're not a motherfucker.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same
Or like,
page.
Or
or
is
like
he?
cocksucker. Like,
Sure.
I mean, it could be good for some people. It could be bad for some people.
Sure.
So where does that come from? Like, why?
I mean, I think cocksucker, for example, comes from the kind of like homophobia that was like way more intense back in the day, I guess. So I'm sure when it developed back then, it was just bad to be gay. People just looked at you like gay equals bad, so that person, I'm gonna call them a word like that.
I haven't heard cocksucker in a very long time.
Yeah, it's not
I hear
really
it a
used
lot.
that much.
You hear it a lot?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, my
As
parents
outing his
gave up.
dad.
My parents gave up on my brother and I swearing like forever ago because
But
when
still,
we were
your mom
kids
will be
playing
like-
video games, like
yeah, your mom would
your
still
mom would
be
be like,
like,
"Matthew."
tone it
she'll,
down.
yeah. The only thing is my parents definitely get annoyed at me because because I swear a lot, there are definitely times where like I'll come home from work and like let's say I'm annoyed about something and I'll just be like, and I don't even necessarily realize I'm doing it, but I'm like, and they're like, oh, you know what's up? I'm like, I was at the fucking work today and there was this fucking person there who was being such a pain in my ass. I was like, why you have to be such a fucking asshole? Like, why can't you? Blah. And like eventually my parents will be like, can you like chill out? Like, can you tone it down? So they have their limit, but like generally speaking, I remember being like kids playing video games in the basement or whatever, and like same thing of just losing. And I'm the exact same way now. When I'm playing Mortal Kombat 1 now, if I'm playing online matches and it's like I win one and another guy wins one or whatever, but if I'm playing somebody and like they clean my clock like 3 games in a row, by that third loss, I'm like losing my mind at the TV, and it's really annoying when it's like late at night, my whole house is asleep, so I have to like do it quietly, like just to
shake.
myself, but I want to like I want to just like scream out loud.
I'll keep that in mind next time we play.
You know what I do?
Not to wipe the floor.
You know what I
too.
used to do? And I haven't played a competitive game in a long time, but I used to just like hit my pillow because it's like quiet.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm just like,
Bro, I wish my brother would learn to do that. My brother hits his desk and he has no remorse.
My brother in the middle of the night will go, when he's playing like Overwatch or something. It's so annoying.
No, but when my brother and I were kids and we would swear, like my parents would always be like, "Hey, stop, blah blah blah, whatever." And then as we got older, it became a like, "Don't swear in front of family." And now it's just to the point where my parents have just given up. Like the only time is if like my younger cousins are coming over. Like if I have younger people around, then my parents are like, tone it down kind of thing. But if it's just like aunts and uncles or like people my age or older or anything, like my parents, they gave up on that fight.
Do you guys have discrepancies between your parents have a discrepancy with like one of them swears, one of them doesn't, or one of them does it more? Because for me, my dad will be on the phone at work and I'll be like, yeah, because she's a fucking bitch. And then my mom will be like, my mom will look at him like, what are you talking? Like, what are you doing? Like, it's too much. But he'll be laughing. He's not like good. Like I said it in an angry way, but I'll be like, yeah, of course that bitch said that. And he'd laugh or whatever. But like my mom would be like kind of, she'd be disgusted by him. Like, what are you doing? That's like animalistic behavior.
Yeah.
That's too rude.
It's kind of the same dynamic with my mom and dad, except my dad doesn't he doesn't swear.
Oh, but your mom does
in the house. No, my mom doesn't swear in the house either. But I know he does outside of the house for sure. I know for sure.
Fuck your mother.
My dad definitely is the one that swears more. But my mom does too. Like my mom's not like against or anything. She does too. It's just to a like lesser degree. Yeah. But I also feel like it's because she's not like my dad, who is like me, where it's like, now that like the NFL's back, my dad always jokes where it's like, it's gonna get real loud in the house again because he's in like his fantasy football pools, and every Sunday when he's watching like all the football games, and like if his team's sucking ass and he's like losing that week to like the other guy, I'll just be in the basement playing video games, and then I'll just hear like from I'll hear from like the main floor of the house, like, okay, pass him the ball and go. Pass him the ball and go. Yes, good. And then like if he doesn't make the touchdown or whatever, it's like, oh, you fucking bastard, blah, blah, blah. And then it just starts like going on. I'm like, guess the play didn't work out like Dad wanted it.
It seems to me like spending some time at your house every once in a while, like your mom like swears when again it's like the punctuation like makes sense for her life. Like if something really upset her, she's like, son of a bitch or whatever. Yes. But she's not gonna just like drop it casually in conversation.
Yeah, for her it's a little bit more of like a punctuation, whereas my dad, it's more just kind of like sprinkled in like I do. But the one other thing I was just gonna say is, because I get what you guys were saying about like if you use it so much it loses its sting. I think that's true to some degree in the main. What helps in my case is it's not so much the usage, but it's the tone and the cadence. Because if I'm just like sitting around and I was like, stocks are through the fucking roof, then it's like, obviously I'm not like, I'm just throwing it in, but I'm not throwing. And again, because swearing to me is funny, a lot of times when I am throwing it in, it's like the fucking SpongeBob episode with where they discover the swear word on the dumpster or whatever, and then it just makes the dolphin noise. And they're just like using it because they think it's funny. Like that to me is generally what it is. But there are definitely times, I'm sure you guys have seen it, where I'm swearing, and I'm going to venture a guess that you guys can tell I'm not doing it for comedic effect.
Never tell.
Or like just as sprinkling in that, I'm like mad about something or like not impressed, and I'm using. So I feel like, to me, it's not so much a usage; it's more just like a tone.
Sure, tone affects it too.
Cadence thing with it.
You know what I was thinking? When Malcolm was talking about Daniel, I was thinking about Robert Downey Jr. in the what was it?
In Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, exactly.
One man chose to question his God. So good. But anyways, so swear words. Are there any swear words we'd like to get off our chest before we segue out of this topic? Please, let's go around the table.
I don't have anything. Like, just say one random one.
Yeah, go ahead. I have one.
Okay, you start.
Can I start?
Sure.
Scallywag. That's mine.
Douchebag.
I was gonna say dude. That's one I use a lot.
I don't have one.
Come on.
Yeah, maybe we'll just cut it.
Let's just cut it.
We should just go.
Swearing.
Ma, what are you doing? Welcome back, folks. So I was trying to figure out, what are you doing over there?
I'm back.
Okay, should I go from?
I think you should just keep going.
Okay. So that's okay. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for my topic today. And then Selma suggested that I talk about something to do with morality. And then I was like...
Malcolm's just asleep.
Like how his hat is like... I love when hats are just like... They're a little bit tilted or they're kind of sitting half off of his head. You know what's hilarious about that? Is that you don't give a fuck. Like you're so... You don't give a shit what people are saying. That your hat is just like halfway off your head, and you're just laying there. Like you don't even care to fix it.
Can I please?
Yeah,
Some morality. Now you know how I feel.
So we're gonna... Wait, what? Did I
There's
do that too?
multiple times where I like start a topic and like 2 of you or all of you will be like laughing about something, and it takes like 5 minutes just to get into
Usually
the
Patrick
topic.
sparks it.
No.
Yes,
Really? Is it
dude.
usually me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So we're going to go through this BuzzFeed page on different moral dilemmas.
Thank you, BuzzFeed.
Some of them are a little
Is
wacky.
it a sorting
Sure.
hat
So it's a
quiz?
game.
It's not a quiz. Why do you guys keep holding on to the word
It's
quiz?
kind of a game though, right?
Sorting
Kinda.
hat.
Sure, it's a game.
All right,
Is that
game
what's going to make
time.
you feel
The
good?
morality game.
So I'm going to read them one at a time. What's good about this, though, is that we can see the percentage of people who picked each response.
Oh, it's like
as well.
I see those Instagram reels of like
Yeah.
the button
The blue
thing,
red
of, like,
thing.
you know, get $1 million, but
Yeah.
like some homeless guy wants to bang you or whatever.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so the first... There's 9 of these, okay? So the first... I'm going to read them one at a time. The first
Please.
one. You are at your best friend's wedding. Just an hour before the ceremony is to start. Earlier that day, you came across definitive proof that your best friend's spouse-to-be is having an affair with the best man/maid of honor.
Wow.
And you catch them sneaking out of a room together looking disheveled. If you tell your friend about the affair, their day will be ruined, but you don't want them to marry a cheater. What do you do?
Tell a friend.
The 2 options. Tell your best friend, sure, the day will be ruined, but better a day ruined than an entire life. Or say nothing. Your job is to be supportive and participate in your friend's happiness. I think this is the most no-brainer one.
But
This is tell a friend.
are we talking about what would we actually do or what would we theoretically do? Because to me, of course, the obvious answer is to tell him.
Yeah.
But if there's thousands of people there and
Thousands?
or, no, not
Oopsies.
thousands. Okay, but if it's like a huge wedding, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
and there's people flying, like family members flying in. I know when my wedding happens at some point, whenever that happens, if it happens, people are gonna come in from Egypt. We're gonna do this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then if someone says something, then all those people came there and like all that money was wasted, all that stuff. So it's like you might be like,
But
I
it
don't have
wouldn't
it
be
in
on
me.
you, though.
No, I understand that, but it's like I don't have it in me to like ruin this whole thing.
Yeah.
Theoretically, I would. Yes, that's my answer. Yes, I would tell them.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how courageous I would be if I was up there and there was like so many people there, and it's like,
Also, why do you think the setting is in front of
It
everybody?
doesn't have to be up
what
there.
is it saying? Is it saying like the wedding's already started, or is this before the wedding has started?
I
It's
mean,
an
they're
hour
just sneaking
before
out
the
a
wedding.
room.
It
It's
said.
an hour before.
Because
Okay,
yeah,
then
I
before
get what
the
you're saying
ceremony.
about like if you have to do
Is
the
it started
like if you have
and
to do like the running into like I object.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That
that'd
would
be crazy.
I
That would
wouldn't
be
have
like
that in me.
that would be way more wild.
Yeah.
I'm sure it happens all the time, but that would be hilarious. But no, if it's like an hour before the wedding and it was one of you guys, yeah, I would be like pulling one of you guys out in the hall of like, here's the definitive proof, and also I just watched her and the guy come out of the fucking
That's
room
crazy.
closet,
Yeah.
But with the
banging.
best man.
And
that
with the
could be
best
like-
man.
That's so-
Another
That could
one
be
of
like
you.
someone fucking one of our brothers.
Yeah, and then it's like in the middle of the wedding, she's like reading her vows or whatever, and then the best man's just like smiling there.
I
He's
will
like
say,
the happiest
Yeah.
guy on
You're-
earth.
I just want to say really quickly, just because this story came to mind, and I don't want to totally derail your topic here. One day,
You're
I-
about to,
Oh,
though.
God.
One day I want to get to maybe like talking about like our grandparents and like old people or just like stories from them will be a topic one day. But my Volvo, rest his soul, my mom's dad, he was a bit of a rapscallion as a younger man.
Okay.
And just one of the funniest stories of him that I ever heard was that on the day he was marrying my grandmother, my Sasa, it was either one of his brothers or their dad, so like my great-grandfather, who I never even knew, basically went, and I have to ask my mom, I might be getting some of the details wrong, but basically he was at like a brothel the night before,
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
and so either they had to like pick him up there in the morning, or it might have been that he had like come home but was just like passed the fuck out, like because from drinking whatever, and just like, you know, like hours before the wedding they had to go like get him up and be like, hey, like you gotta get to the church, you're getting married in like a few hours kind of thing. Which, and I think my Sasa like knew, again, different time.
Wait, brothel meaning like he was actually doing stuff with people?
I think so. So it was a different time. As my dad says, it was a time when men were men and the women were nervous. And so that came to my mind of just like wedding day.
You know what that's like?
Stories.
Wedding day drama.
That's like he's probably like, might as well have one last blast.
Go out with a bang.
But we'll get to one stories.
I feel like there's an idea that like maybe some bachelor and bachelorette parties like allow that sort of shit to happen.
A lot of them do. Apparently. I feel like a lot of guys go to strip clubs.
That is wild.
Well, I know guys go to strip clubs, but yeah, that's different.
Like sleeping with some other person the day before. It's like,
why is that different from a strip club though?
What a way to start.
If you're like at a strip club and you're just watching these like women dance, then it's like, okay, fine. Like I personally am not like I don't care.
Imagine getting married to a girl and everybody is like, people know that she slept with some guy just the other day. That's wild.
Put it this way, if I was marrying a girl and she had a bachelorette party and they're like, yeah, we had a male stripper show up to like their party or whatever, I'd be like, I don't give a shit. If they were like, yeah, we got your wife a fucking escort and he plowed her in the back, marry her now, I'd be what the fuck?
Do you guys remember the video I sent to the chat of like a wedding falling apart because there was like a bride and some other guy in a
I love that video. The video starts and the bride is like in the full white dress, the fucking tiara, everything, and she's like and she's crying and the video's on her face, and then it pans to like this party bus and they look through the window of the party bus and her husband to be, the groom, is like putting his pants back on and some other lady putting her pants back on in there. and then it cuts back there and she's like
hilarious but unfortunate. Anyways,
let's get back
continue on.
So are we all in agreement? Tell the best friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 88% of people would do that.
Who are the 12 assholes?
12%.
Your feet stink.
12.
Put some socks on, please.
And now it's on air.
I keep thinking I smell
on air. On air, bro.
Like,
fuck, bro. You actually want to put socks on?
Put socks on, please.
For fuck's sake, bro.
I thought my balls were sweating or something.
Like,
sure.
My balls.
We're not cutting. I'm just saying right now, we're not cutting. This is making the show. I'm not cutting shit. I'm not cutting any of this. This is gold. But anyways, well, I guess we'll get to Patrick's next thing in a second here, because again, not cutting.
Not cutting.
But anyways, not cutting.
I guarantee you, it's not my feet. I'm just doing this because you embarrassed me.
Okay, well, here we go.
It's not my balls.
It's not my balls. You ever get that ball stank sometimes?
You left pizza in this room for weeks. Like, there's been bare shit going on.
You ever get that ball stank sometimes?
Oh yeah, I wasn't there for that. Damn it.
Huh?
Sorry?
I said, you ever get that ball stank sometimes?
What?
You ever get that ball stank sometimes?
Oh, all the time.
That's awful.
Okay.
I hate ball stank.
We're gonna
Anyways.
cut back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
Mm-hmm.
You are an eyewitness to a crime.
Sure.
A man has robbed a bank, but instead of keeping the money for himself, he donates it to a poor orphanage that can now afford to feed, clothe, and care for its children. You know who committed the crime. If you go to the authorities with the information, there's a good chance the money will be returned to the bank, leaving a lot of kids in need. What do you do? The options: turn the robber in to the authorities. Right is right. Say nothing, since the money went to what you deem a good cause.
Well, I think, to me, regardless of whether I deem it a good cause or not, like, the corporation, the bank, is not something I'm, like, looking out for. I wouldn't do it because I think that stealing is wrong. But at the same time, it's like, I'm just going to stay out of it. That's what my answer would be. Not necessarily because I think that...
I don't think that is an answer. Is that an answer?
No. I'm saying no. I'm saying no. I'm saying the answer is no.
You can say nothing?
No, I'm saying no.
Yeah, but that means...
The two options
I'm saying
turn the robber in
or don't turn him in. I'm saying I'm not turning him in.
Oh, so, yeah,
it's either you turn him in or you don't turn him in. Yeah. I'm saying, like, I'm not necessarily saying that I'm not turning him in because I think he did the right thing, because I think that stealing is wrong. But at the same time, I'm not going to, like, go out of my way to, like, make sure that this big corporation, this bank, gets its money back. Like, I don't...
To me, it's two things. The first thing is, when it's, like, robbing a bank, my thought is, like, whose money is that kind of thing?
That's what I was thinking.
It's the people's money.
Because to me, it's like, if it's just like, or if it was like some fame, like, yeah, if it's like a rich thing and it's like a literal Robin Hood thing, then it's like...
Is that how... Do banks just have money in it that's just like for the bank that to use? Or is it just all it's all people's money?
I would assume they have like money on hand. And I would also assume that if a bank got robbed and they took your money, I would assume they have to like
They have to
reimburse you for that.
Yeah.
Like
but how do they reimburse you?
So the
question.
bank's
They're
gonna
gonna
get in
have to.
trouble. So
The
at the end of
question
the
is,
day, I don't
where
say
does the
anything.
money come from, though?
It doesn't matter,
The
but they're gonna
bank?
do it.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
It
Let's just
comes
say
from the bank.
what would be a negative potential place?
Well,
where
let's
it
say
comes from?
it's coming from the government.
Sure.
Then it would be the taxpayers' dollars.
Yeah,
but I don't think it
it's
would be the
minuscule
government. I think it
compared
would be the bank paying it out.
But the question becomes, where are they going to pull it out of? They're going to take
Their
from their
money.
other.
They
from
got
their-
it. They got
from
it.
their other.
No,
like,
their
people who put money
profits
in the
and
bank.
shit.
I think-
Their money.
I think they have enough money that if they get robbed a few times, they're gonna be fine. I think they can pull money out.
Well, I don't know.
But that's a whole other thing. But
depends.
the other
It
thing I'm
depends.
saying is
It
it
does-
also
it does
depends
depend.
because it's saying rob a bank, but it depends how. If the guy walked in
Kill
and like
people
arm
or-
robbed the fucking bank,
Well-
then I don't care where the money went. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's a problem. But if they like did some Mission
Sneaky shit,
Impossible
yeah.
shit and like they got in and out and nobody fucking noticed them,
I'm gonna
then it's like a.
here's
you
what
know,
we'll say. It didn't say anything about anyone dying, any innocent people dying, anyone being killed. So just assume
I'm
that-
assuming
You're
it's
an
a stealth mission.
you're an eyewitness, so I'm sure this man walked in and.
But yeah, I'm
No,
assuming
but-
it's a stealth mission.
I'm assuming that at the very least nobody died. It would have said people got killed. Would you still support it?
Okay.
So to me, it's like nobody died. That would be a big moral dilemma, obviously. So nobody died. He came in there. He got shit. My question is it the people's money or is it the government's money? To me, either way, or the bank's money. To me, either way, the bank's gonna pay the people back out of their own pocket is what I'm assuming. And based on that assumption, I'm not turning him in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like the whole ends justifying the means and all that kind of shit usually,
Yeah.
but I might in this instance because in my head, in terms of what Mark was saying about like nobody dying, in my head I'm just imagining walking down the street and like a fucking vent on the side of a building gets pushed out,
Yeah, yeah.
and some guy comes
Crawls
out
out.
with two like cartoonishly big sacks of money.
Big dollar
And I'm
signs
like,
on
oh
them.
fuck, that's weird. And I like look inside the bank and like nobody's reacting. Like something just went down. And he goes gallivanting down the street, and I was like, oh, that's odd.
Also, if the police come to my house and we're like, yeah, like you're on camera, like we need your testimony or whatever, I wouldn't lie to the police. If they're like, what happened? Can you tell us what happened? I'd be like, this is what I saw. But the question doesn't really detail that. So to me, it's like
It's a lie of omission,
if it's
not
just kind
by
of
like.
if it's someone's just kind of like Matty said that you see it happen and then it's passing. I'm not going to go out of my way to go to the authorities and try to tell them like this, and this. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
It's tough.
say nothing.
It's tough, but I'm going to say nothing.
Malcolm,
Say nothing.
say nothing.
Patrick.
It's a tough one.
Say nothing.
Okay.
And what are the percentages?
77% of people say nothing.
There you go.
Perfect. Go
Okay.
kids.
People have that Robin Hood mentality.
People really do. Okay, you have a job as a network administrator for a company that also employs your best friend's husband. One day, your best friend's husband sends you a message asking you to release an email from quarantine. This requires you to open the email, at which point you discover that it's correspondence between this guy and his secret lover. After releasing the email, you find yourself in a pickle. Your instinct is to tell your best friend about his husband's infidelities, but divulging the contents of the company email is against company policy and you could lose your job. Once it becomes plain that your best friend found out about his cheating, best friend's husband finds out about the cheating. Oh my God, I can't read.
I don't like
I'm
this
not- I don't
question.
get this at all.
I'm lost.
I need you to start from the top, and I need you to
Oh my
substitute
God.
husband with wife.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm understanding. You have a best friend. You work at a corporate job.
Yeah.
Your best friend's spouse
Yes.
is cheating on
Let
them.
me just finish it because
is
it's
cheating
going to
on
be
them,
clear.
and in the email, it's set it
Yes.
proves that, but then it also leaks company shit, so you would get fired already.
Exactly.
So would you tell the person or not?
Exactly. So do you tell them or not? So it's the options are yes, your loyalty to your best friend eclipses any company policy.
You might lose your job.
No, it sucks that your best friend is
The best friend isn't working there,
No.
though.
No.
It's the spouse.
No one's working
No
there
one-
except for you. Is it? Isn't it?
No, you work there with your best friend's husband or wife.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So I'm working there. My best friend's wife
Partner,
also works
yeah.
there.
And she's cheating on
She
them.
sends me an email,
Yes.
or she wants an email put out or some shit or whatever.
And it leaks that she cheated.
leaks that she cheated,
Yeah.
but also has like government or
Private-
secret
yeah.
shit on
Company
it.
stuff.
So the options are yes, your loyalty to your best friend eclipses any company policy, or
Can I
no,
ask
it
a
sucks
question?
that your best friend has a cheating
Why
husband.
can't you just tell your best friend without having corporate consequences?
Because then it's not a fun
no,
dilemma.
I understand, but why? Like, in what situation would it be like, oh, why can't you just tell your best friend that you saw in an email that they cheated? Like, why does it have to release corporate? I don't get that. This doesn't add up to me. Like, what would the situation be?
I think I don't know. I think the very fact that it came from the email is that you're divulging company
I see.
information or something. Let's just play along.
I think in reality, what are the options? What do they say?
Yes, your loyalty to your best friend eclipses any company policy. No, it sucks that your best friend has a cheating partner, but you can't risk losing your job.
I would do it in a way where
No loopholes.
I'm just trying to say, like, if I had to do it in real life, I would tell them, and then like keep my job, obviously. But to me, it's like with this scenario, like I'm gonna tell them.
Okay.
I'm not gonna just like have a best friend.
Now, in my mind, this job is like your livelihood.
Sure.
So like you're losing your livelihood.
I understand that,
Okay.
but to me, it's like I believe that in reality, I would be able to do it without like that high of a risk.
Okay, so you're gonna have to take that away for a second.
Yeah, but it doesn't say there's 99% you're gonna lose your job. It says you're risking it or whatever.
Well, it says all trails will inevitably lead to you as the leak.
Well, there you go.
Oh, so like it's saying it will happen.
You're losing your job.
So either lose my job or. But that's such a fucking stupid scenario because that would never happen. Like, why?
Just entertain it, bro.
But it's just
entertain it.
BuzzFeed, come on.
Yeah, I'm
silly.
in the camp of in real life, I wouldn't have to choose either of these because I would just work around it. But in this instance, I get that it's saying like it's gonna lead. I can't risk losing my job because that's the thing too, where it's like I don't know. To me, I'm like, well, what company shit is on there that I'm even leaking?
Exactly.
Like, how severe is it?
Oh my god, guys, just entertain like the trolley problem. If I presented you guys the trolley problem, you're never gonna find yourself in a scenario.
I was gonna answer it.
Like that's a more simplistic problem. Do you pull it?
But you're never gonna find. There's no reality. It's based in zero reality.
I understand that, but the logic of it makes sense. Are you gonna kill all these people or just one person?
The logic of it makes sense here. Are you going to lose your
job?
job?
It doesn't make sense. You know why it doesn't make sense? Because there would never be a scenario in real life where you would have to divulge company information.
And that's the crux of it. I'm saying the trolley problem is not rooted in reality either. You're never going to find yourself in a situation where you're pulling a lever for two groups of people.
I understand that, but I'm saying like if I'm putting myself in that situation, like
allow the premise that you could get fired for it. Just allow that premise.
No, but you're saying that I will get fired.
You will get fired.
Not that I could.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm just gonna answer it. I'm gonna keep my job.
Yeah, if I'm gonna get absolutely fired, I would keep my job.
See, not to continue being a little shit about this, but because it says you can't risk losing your job, my thing is if I had to pick one of these two scenarios, my thing is I feel like I could leak it and then go to like corporate and be like, hey, just so you know,
exactly.
I'm the one that
That's
did
what
this.
I'm saying.
Here's why, though.
Exactly. To me, in real life, you wouldn't get fired for telling your friend that their person's cheating. Okay. If you actually as well divulged personal fucking company information, yes, you would get fired, and that would make sense. Okay. But if I'm being like, hey, your spouse is cheating on you, and then your company is like, why did you tell your spouse, your best friend that their spouse is? Why the fuck does the company care? It's not their private information.
Based off of the two answers, though, I'm going with keeping my job because assuming this is like my livelihood, like if I'm like supporting a family and whatever, it's like I can't.
I'm making like $200K. My best friend can work.
Okay. Also, what if you have a bad rap after that and like other places won't hire you because you're like leaked their information or whatever?
Let's pick it. Okay, so 41% of people would say no, that they would not tell their best friend.
So we're in the slight minority.
What
did you say?
I'm no as well.
Okay. It's a stupid scenario.
Oh my god.
Actually a dumb scenario.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
We'll move on. Just forget about it.
You know what I'm saying though? Like why would you not be able to just tell them that piece of information?
I understand completely what you're saying, but for the nature of what we're trying to do here.
All I'm saying is that it's a poorly constructed thing. Okay. Whereas the trolley problem, even though it's like ridiculous, wacky, it's like well constructed in its idea.
Okay. So next one. You've been on a cruise for 2 days when there's an accident.
Can I just ask a question, by the way?
Yeah.
Can we cut these because it's gonna be a long for doing all 9? What are we at?
We're at the third one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna. Should we do like 6 more, or are we just gonna cut it shorter?
Well, okay. Let's read a few more and we'll see how we end up. Okay. You've been on a cruise for 2 days when there's an accident that forces everyone on board to abandon ship. During the evacuation, one of the boats gets damaged, leaving it with a hole that fills it with water. You figure that with 10 people in the boat, you can keep the boat afloat by having 9 people scoop the filling water out by hand and for 10 minutes while the 10th person rests. After the person rests for 10 minutes, he or she will get back to work while another person rests, and so on and so forth. This should keep the boat from sinking long enough for a rescue team to find you as long as it happens within 5 hours. You're taking your first break when you notice your best friend, there's always a best friend in these, in a sound lifeboat with only 9 people in it, and he beckons, he just like waves over to you. Yeah, he beckons for you to come over and join them. If you leave the people in the sinking boat, they will only be able to stay afloat for 2 hours instead of 5, decreasing their chance of being rescued, but securing your options. Stay in your boat and hope that you all get rescued in 5 hours' time before the boat sinks and you all drown. Jump ship and join your friend in his boat and hope that the others are rescued within 2 hours.
I feel like
off the bat, I don't want to be a shit, but again, I have like instantly so many questions of why does taking like 10% of the people away cut the time over half? And then it's also a thing of like, well, am I on a raft with 9 other people and they're all like children, or am I on a boat with 9 like elderly people? Like,
I'd say there's a mix.
I have an answer. My answer is going to be that I would if for some reason I found out that those people died, I would never be able to live with myself. So I would stay with the rest of the people, and we'd survive for a long time. And I'd be like, surely we're gonna get saved within 5 hours.
But if you stay with them and you don't get saved in 5 hours, you'll never live at all.
Yeah, but at least I don't.
Friend, hey, stay with the lifeboat right here, just in case we do sink. And I'll
at least to me, if I die, I die with the rest of the people, all fighting for our lives, and I don't die. I die knowing that I did the right thing for myself, and I didn't like leave all those people to like. Yeah, because if they all died, if you left with your friend, they all died, I would never be able to live with myself. I'd like every night when I go to bed, I'm like, I killed all those people. Like I could have helped them. The lifeboat, the savior boat was there like an hour later, and if I helped them and whatever. So
I'll get over the survivor's guilt and therapy. I'm jumping ship.
I'm staying on board.
I'm staying. I feel like if I get into the scenario and I'm like with a group of people, like we kind of like turn into a little team somehow.
Exactly.
You have little bonds and like you're trying
We're
to
in
work
this together.
I'm just not gonna just ditch you guys.
And then in
You guys
5
have a
hours, you
way
could be a
out.
bond at the bottom of the Pacific.
Yeah, Patrick, what are you saying? Are you with?
I think I'm jumping ship, to be quite honest
okay.
with you guys.
So what
but we're split. But let's
Again,
see
it's
what
very
the-
contingent on like who's on the boat with me.
who's
But
jumping
like,
ship?
So 68% of people stay in the boat,
Okay, so we're in the majority.
and 32% jump ship.
Scumbags.
yeah, but see, but here's the thing. This is also a BuzzFeed quiz where half these people are saying like, yeah, I'd stay in the boat, and then if
They
they're
wouldn't
actually in
actually
the
do it.
boat, they're
Well,
gone.
This one's messed
That's the
up,
thing I was
guys.
thinking about the marriage thing of like, would you actually have the balls to do it? You know?
Right.
This next one's messed up. You're involved in a 2-car crash. I hate the wording of these. You're involved in a car crash
Yeah.
on your way to work one
What if it
morning,
was 3 cars?
in which you accidentally hit and kill a pedestrian.
Oh, no.
As you get out of the car, you are intercepted by a tearful woman who seems to think that she hit and killed a pedestrian.
Yeah,
You're not sure why she thinks she hit the person, but she's
What did you do?
but she's convinced.
Lady, what'd you do?
There's only you, the woman, and the person you hit on the road. There are no witnesses. You know that whoever is deemed responsible will probably be sent to jail.
Just go.
So your options are confess your responsibility.
sprint away.
You wouldn't be able to live with your guilt if an innocent person went to jail for your crime. Let the woman take the blame. The thought of being locked away from your life and family is too much to bear.
You know what's hilarious? It's like the girl's freaking out and you're like, oh no. Like you're like, what do I fucking do?
This is an easier one for me because I'm confessing my responsibility.
I'm just trying to think about what kind of car crashes is that.
Also,
Did
but
I
you killed up. You
deliberately
killed up.
hit
You
this
killed.
person and I was completely in the wrong.
By the way, vehicular manslaughter. How long do you get for that?
I can't imagine. It's
I
not
don't
that
know.
long. I don't think.
Can you
Are
Google
you
it?
But to
sure
me,
it's not
I
that
also
long? It's
think-
long enough.
I also think
If you were drunk,
not that I know shit all about the legal system, but I feel like if I went and I was like, listen, like this other lady thinks it's her, it wasn't her, it was me, blah blah blah. I feel like that presents better in a
Reduces
court
your-
case
sure.
You go,
than it does to be
"Aw,
like
sweet."
she fucking did it, and then like they look into
Comes
it
out.
and they're like, no, it was actually
It
you
was
and you
him.
lied and
Yeah.
you let her believe
But I
it.
think,
You'd be in there for
but I think
longer.
the moral dilemma is supposed to be like you're gonna get away with it if you don't say anything.
Sure, but even in that, I'm still accepting culpability because it's a guilt thing of that being on my conscience.
Sure.
Knowing I
killed
killed them
the
would
person.
fuck me up, and then what would make it worse is knowing that I ruined 2 lives. Of like,
Yeah.
not only did I kill this guy, but I also let this woman take
Now
the
this
fall.
lady's in jail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Even though I'd stay out of jail, like my life would be like I'd be depressed, and then also I think that with that sort of case, I think that like Matty said, you would get your sentence reduced by being an honest person,
Yeah.
and maybe you'd be in jail for a few years or 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But like eventually you'd get out, and you would have learned your lesson to not drive and kill people like that. So
I'm
That's
guessing
what it
Malcolm,
took 10 years.
you're also confessing.
I'm confessing.
Yeah, so confessing is 74% of people say they would
Yeah.
confess, while 26% of
Who the
people.
hell are those
So,
people?
so 1 in 4 people say they would let the woman. take the blame.
I know.
the fall.
1
in 4 people go, lady, what are you
I
doing?
feel like you know your loved like I'm sure a lot of people their loved ones would be like don't say anything.
I'm
know what
gonna.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing of like if your significant other like accidentally killed someone, would you turn them in or like try to hide the body with them type shit?
Mhm.
Or a lot of people would be like we didn't do anything. Like, let's just figure it out.
I'm gonna skip one of these because it's kind of stupid.
Okay.
So I'll skip to the next one. So you're an EMT
Mhm.
on the scene of a car crash that involves your spouse and the lover you didn't know she had. They're both gravely injured. Your spouse's injuries are worse. You can tell it's unlikely she will pull through. Meanwhile, her lover has a neck wound that will prove fatal if pressure isn't applied soon. Whom do you choose to work on? Your options: work on your spouse, even though she cheated and probably won't pull through, your loyalty lies with them. Work on her lover. They can definitely be saved, and even though you hate them, saving them is your job.
Working on my spouse. Working on my spouse. I don't care if she's cheating on me. It's like
yeah.
I have a deep love for this person either way.
Yeah.
And it makes me so. I can't even tell you how angry it just makes me to think about that scenario right now. So
Can I just turn around and walk away from both of them? And be like, sayonara, sayonara, bitches.
Seeing how
I toss a grenade over my shoulder. No,
to me, I'm loyal to my lover. I mean, I know like the trust was broken with that scenario, but even when I'm hurt in that moment, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't love them anymore. It's done.
I think the scenario, just so we're on the same page, the scenario I think is painting the picture that she's gonna die. It's really unlikely that she's gonna pull through. Probably won't pull through.
And then but then there you go. You go to save your spouse, which is what I'm also saying. If she doesn't pull through, well, then it takes care of itself.
There you go. You're right.
And everybody's happy.
No couples therapy.
She's gone. Yeah, no divorce.
You're the ultimate like high ground. Like even though she cheated on me, I tried to save her with all my might.
Then nobody can be like, wow, you let them die.
King of the castle.
Nobody can be like, you let her die. And you can be like,
so 39% of people would work on the spouse.
Wow.
61% of people.
Bunch of vindictive assholes.
Their duty to save this.
I think those 61% of people aren't imagining the scenario and don't have a spouse.
But I feel like a lot of people. I feel like it's not vindictive to ignore the spouse because it's like they're just like, I want to save the person. It's most likely going to survive.
They're painting it like, oh, the other person surely will pull through if you put pressure on the neck.
I'm saying it's vindictive in the sense of like, oh, you cheated on me. Well, I'm going to save this other person.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're thinking like. I think most people are probably thinking like, I'm just going to save this life.
Based on the way the thing's worded.
Because it's basically it's like you're probably going to save the guy, but you're probably not going to save the girl.
Okay,
I still stick with my answer.
Let's do these last couple here. So you and your son are prisoners at a concentration camp.
Jesus Christ.
Your son. Your son tried to escape, but was recaptured. This one's messed up. This one's messed up, guys. Your son tried to escape, but was recaptured and sentenced to hang at the gallows.
Oh, no.
To send a message to all others who may try to escape, the guard orders you to pull the chair out from under your son. If you refuse, the guard will kill your son and another innocent person in the camp. Your options: tearfully pull the chair.
Oh my God, dude!
Tearfully pull the chair out from under your son. Or refuse to pull the chair out from under your son, ensuring both his death and the death of another inmate.
Before you read the before the option, was it the last sentence or two? What does it say?
Of the blurb.
Yeah.
The last sentence. If you refuse, the guard will kill your son.
I just like that part. Imagining in a German accent. If you refuse our stipulations.
If you refuse. So what are we saying here, boys?
I am tearfully pulling the.
Really? Because
to me,
you think you would have it in you to like?
Probably. I don't think.
I think likely. Oh, okay. No, sorry. What were you gonna say?
It's like just kick it out.
I know I couldn't kick it out. I'd be there like
I think wouldn't you just be freaking?
Wait, can you read the options again?
So the options are: tearfully pull the chair out from under your son, or refuse to pull the chair out from under your son, ensuring both his death and the death of an innocent inmate.
Someone else can die.
Here's the thing.
I would be going with the second option, not willingly. Like I want to say pull the chair out because it prevents the loss of another life, but I would not have it in me to do the thing. Like I'd be like, I'll push the chair, and then I get up there and like break down and can't do it, and then they just give up and they're like, all right, bang, bang, kind of thing.
But is the question, what would you do if you were in the situation, or like theoretically, what would you do? Because again, to me, it changes. Like in reality, I wouldn't be able to do it. I just can't. Yeah. But like morally, I think that would be the right thing to do.
Let's go reality.
With reality,
morally, I would want to just have one person die. But realistically, I'm not.
But I thought the game was supposed to be like a morality quiz type thing, where it's like not necessarily if you were literally in this, what would you do? But it's like hypothetically, what would you do?
I think it's clear the hypothetical for each one, but I think it's better if we go realistic.
Okay, in reality, I wouldn't be able to do it, even though I think it would be the best thing to do.
So sorry, other
62% of people tearfully pull the chair out.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I would. That's what I would do. But, or what I would want to do. But I don't know if it's
okay. This is the last one. Are you guys good to do it?
Yeah. Yes, please.
You're a doctor at a top hospital. At a top hospital, you're a doctor. You have 6 gravely ill patients, 5 of whom are in urgent need of an organ transplant. You can help them, though, because there are no available organs that can be used.
You can't help them, you mean? Right?
Oh my God, yeah, you can't. I'm just gonna. Should I just restart?
Sure.
Okay. Sorry, audience.
So you're saying like you can help them because there are no available.
No, yeah. You're a doctor at a top hospital. You have 6 gravely ill patients, 5 of whom are in urgent need of an organ transplant. You can't help them because there are no available organs that can be used to save their lives. The 6th patient, however, will die without a particular medicine. If he or she dies, you'll be able to save the other 5 patients by using the organs of patient 6, who is an organ donor. What do you do? Your options: keep patient 6 comfortable, but do not give him the medical care that they need, and save the other 5 patients.
So let's save 5 patients with 1 death?
It's basically the trolley thing of like, are you going to let the one person die and save everybody else?
Exactly.
I'm gonna help the 5 patients.
You could save patient 6 and then the other. 5
Yeah, I'm letting the one guy die and save the other 5, especially because if he's an organ donor, then it's like, well, you signed up for this.
Well, let me read the second.
No complaints here.
Let me read the second option reads: save patient 6 and let the other 5 die. It's unfortunate, but that's not your call to make.
No, I'm gonna go with the save 5.
Gonna say, if I'm a doctor, I can't my job is literally to keep someone alive. I can't just not give somebody the medicine because
honestly,
that's also true.
Maybe legally it wouldn't pan out well.
Like from a Hippocratic oath perspective, it's like, what are you just gonna let this guy not have his medicine and fucking die?
I'm looking for it.
I'm gonna if I'm just like ignoring the oath, just like principle wise, I'm gonna go with saving the 5.
Yeah, from a sheer like many versus the few.
So you're
thing.
A doctor. In this.
Well, yeah,
scenario. Consider the scenario.
But to me, in reality, the doctor probably wouldn't be able to make that save 5 choice. I don't think that you'd be able to.
So you're saying keep. So
I'm saying I wouldn't have a choice in real life. But if you're giving me the choice here, I would save the 5.
Well, we're doing real life, so.
No, but that would defeat the point of the game. That would just be like, in reality, there's only one choice. You have to just treat the one guy because you can't kill the one guy, leave him dead.
I'm gonna say kill 6 and save the other 5.
Yeah, me too.
Kill 6,
save 5.
Say keep 6.
You say keep.
And again, it also is highly dependent on like who these people are. Because if it was like 5 80-year-olds and like a 20-year-old woman, then it's like I'm giving the 20-year-old woman medicine and the 5 80-year-olds like
they can all go to hell.
they can all burn.
You've had a good run.
They can all rot 6 feet under.
Organ,
they can all be worm food. But like if it was like an 80-year-old dude and then like a bunch of kids, then it's like, well, sorry, grandpa.
So 36% of people would keep patient 6 comfortable.
And save 5?
And save 5. 64% of people
would let 5 die.
Save patient 6 and let the other 5 die.
I think that is the more realistic answer.
Yeah.
But I'm saying fuck that one guy and save the other 5.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well,
bitch.
I skipped the one stupid one. I don't know if you guys want to hear it or should we just...
Let me hear it.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
What time is it?
Late.
11:30.
This is the one that I skipped. Your family's vacationing alone on a private stretch of the beach with no lifeguard. Your daughter and your niece, both 7, are best friends and eager to get into the water. You caution them to wait until the... Was that a fart?
What? No.
Oh, okay.
This is a drowning situation.
You caution them to wait until the water calms some. That's actually how they write it. Wait till the water calms some, comma. Okay. Why do you always like minimize?
Well, I just
you always minimize.
No, I said K isn't because I was listening and taking in what you were saying.
All right. Your son. So they sneak off and they defy you and they go swim anyways. You soon hear screams of distress and find them both caught in a strong current. You are the only swimmer strong enough to save them, but you can only save one at a time. Your niece is a very poor swimmer and likely won't make it much longer. Your daughter is a stronger swimmer, but only has a 50% chance of holding on long enough for you to come back for her. Your options: save your daughter first. You know your niece will probably die, but you can't bear to lose your child. Save your niece first and hope your daughter can hold on long enough for you to come back for her.
Daughter.
To me, you know what's so stupid about this situation?
Yeah.
Is that like
there's no lifeguard?
None of us are parents. But like if we were parents, what I've heard from parents is that you would, that's not even an option.
No brainer. Yeah.
Like this is your child. Like the connection is so like even if you love your niece, it doesn't even compare to having your own child. So to me,
it's like you're gonna go in like you're not even in rational mode.
No,
you're like
it's just like my child.
Yeah.
Daughter.
I think 80% would say
39.
39% of people save the daughter.
39 save the daughter.
61% save the niece.
It's like
fucking stupid.
it makes. I mean, given the context of the question, it makes sense.
Does it? You leave your daughter's life to a coin toss.
You know what it is though?
It's a coin.
Patrick, you know what it is? You know.
Oops, that's actually not pretty high.
Patrick, you know what it is? You know what it is?
He's looking away from you and laughing.
I'm looking away from both of you laughing just because of Malcolm saying stuff and then you being like so fired up, like, oops.
Dude, I know what's going on here. Wait, you guys want to know what's going on here?
What's going on here?
Parents don't use BuzzFeed, so everyone who's answering it is like 20 or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like like odds wise, like I could maybe hope maybe both will survive.
But also 50% is not high. Let's not act like 50% is a high odds.
Coin toss? Yeah, but
Malcolm, if you went to a surgery, Malcolm, if you
would you go into a surgery that said 50% chance you're gonna live?
If you're like 50% I might die or I might live, and it's like, oh, there's a pretty good chance. It's like, no, it's not. It's like likely you will die.
Really bad chance.
You know what I think? I always consider myself unlucky. So if someone was like 50-50, you're gonna die, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die.
I'm dead.
Like I'm gonna absolutely die.
Say your goodbyes.
Yeah. Like the odds that I'm gonna live are just fucking. Yeah, it's not happening for me.
But yeah, so moral dilemma.
Yay. Okay, so I was thinking recently about the kind of environment I want to live in when I'm older. Not necessarily a house or apartment or anything like that, but like my bedroom. So there's different, I guess, like schools of thought with how you want your bedroom to be organized, whether you want a minimalist look or you want like kind of more of like a cluttered, filled with cool shit everywhere type thing. And the older I get, the more I want my space to be very simple. I want to have a work desk. I want to have my television, for example, a bed, a lamp, and like very minimalist. I like when things are like super minimalist and clean and like not cluttered, because to me clutter stresses me out. So I kind of imagine a space that's like very neutral colored and very like sparse. I don't like a bunch of tchotchkes everywhere, even though that's what my room looks like now, because growing up I loved Funko Pops and I have a bunch of these figures and stuff like that. I don't mind having a few because it looks clean and stuff, but like to me, that sort of smushing a bunch of posters and shit everywhere, I don't like the way that looks. I did it growing up because I was like, into it. So, but anyway, I want to ask you guys like how you feel about minimalists versus kind of like collage of stuff, and how you want your spaces to look when you have your own place. Do you want your house furniture to be very kind of like sparse and not, or do you want things to be very concentrated and bright colors and like, or do you want things to be very simple?
I guess I kind of want, like, I want a simple room, but I like the cluttered look of having a lot of things in there. Like when I think of a kind of dream room, if I had a room right now, I would have it be like really dark. It would have a lot of plants. Everything would be wood. I'd have like a couple chairs. I'd have like my record corner for like listening to records, like a little hangout spot there. I'd have like my desk. I'd have a lamp. I'd have like a bookshelf. I had like a big bed frame.
Wait. Is this like present?
I'm just asking like your hypothetical future room or house.
Your future room is gonna have all that shit in there?
I'd like it.
You're not gonna have a house.
It doesn't have to be a bedroom. We could be talking about your house, your interior designing house, like of your house in general. Like to me, I want my whole house. I want my whole house to be I want it to be very simple and very like kind of like the Parasite house. I know I've talked about this before. It's like very sleek and it's like minimal in its items. I don't want a shit ton of stuff everywhere, and I don't like the look of like.
I don't like that.
No,
I don't like it. I feel like I'm walking into like a
hospital or something. Hospital.
I feel like
what you're saying.
It doesn't feel, for a lot of people, they would say that my idea isn't home.
Yeah,
home.
the problem
I
with
feel
like
like
too minimalist and too like sleek and all this is it starts to just feel like very sterile. Like I'm in a fucking like doctor's office.
I'm not.
To me, it doesn't have to be like glass sleek, but it has to be minimal. That's my point. Because I know I think I talked about at some point like home decor as a topic.
Yes.
But this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about. Can you pull up like minimalist house versus. And then it'll say the other option, whatever they call it.
Right, room, because you're talking about rooms, right?
Sure. Minimalist room versus. Can you do versus? And see what comes up.
Look at this. Look how.
Yeah, I want some sweet, cool shit like that. It makes me feel peaceful just looking at it, dude. Can you search up versus on the top and see what comes up?
Non-minimalist.
Versus maximalist. There you go.
There you go.
See, basically, it's like homey very comfy, a bunch of shit. Go to that one in the middle with like a bunch of colors and the gray and like one lower, like some shit like that where it's like paintings.
Go to the one to the one right and then one up.
Yeah, see that.
I mean, on the left there. Like I don't mind the one. I mean, I don't like the design of and I don't like the style of everything there, but I like the idea behind it. Like I like having a lot of stuff.
I don't like having a lot of stuff. That's what it comes down to me. I don't want to have a lot of stuff.
It makes me feel comfortable.
The one on the right is literally like a cave. So that to me is not that doesn't represent minimal to me. Like for example, can you go to that bottom left one with the pink poster? Yeah. That to me is like I think that a lot of pots and a lot of backgrounds.
I mean the like giraffe painting is a little much.
Sure.
But
or what about that blue one up there?
What about that black painting on the wall?
That's a good example of like very like colorful, very packed with stuff versus like simple.
I want to make it clear that I do not like a maximalist that, and it looks terrible.
I don't know. To me, it's just I would want my room to be basically what it is now, where it's like I got a couple bookshelves, my bed, and a desk, and that's it.
So pretty minimal.
Like it's minimal in terms of like the layout, I guess, let's say, or the furniture. But I have like posters everywhere like we do too, and like I have on my bookshelves some like statues and figures, and then at the top there's like a bunch of figures and statues and shit. Or I have the shelf right above my bed that like has all my mini Godzilla figures on it, kind of thing. So it's like as a display piece.
To me, what I'm thinking when I'm older is like I want to have cool posters and framed stuff, but I want it to be quality over quantity now when I'm older. Right now it's just quantity. I have like a million paper posters everywhere. They rip easily. I don't take care of them that well. They're not like premium nice posters. They're just like shitty ones you could buy at Walmart. Or I'd buy them at the university, like campus.
I want the framed stuff, like the glass frame, like it's good material.
Exactly.
Well, it's like the Godzilla thing you guys got me, the framed one, where it's like that's the best looking poster
to me
in my room.
Damn
To
right
me,
it
that would be
is.
sick if you, when you have your own place, to just have that as like a piece on the one wall.
Yeah.
Not like a million things on a wall.
It
To
is
me, it looks clean to just have it minimal.
It's the
Well,
center
I
of
like
attention.
it.
Sure, but I also, because I have definitely mentioned before the idea of like that I have of the couple older or rarer comics that I do have, and then how like Marvel and DC lately have been like just doing reprints of like old famous issues and like wanting to get those framed. That to me would be a thing of like I would want a dozen of those all framed and up on a wall, but not necessarily in a line, maybe just more like
Offset.
sporadically, just offset,
but
kind of like
you still like a kind of like not necessarily colorful per se, but you do like something that is like chock full of cool shit. Whereas to me, it's like I like some cool things, but I want it to be very plain generally. I just feel like living like there's that phrase that's like cleanliness is next to godliness. Have you heard that before? You've never heard that? So cleanliness next to godliness, you probably get what it means. It's like the more clean you are, the more holy and pure
I think more
your
things
life
doesn't
is.
mean it's not clean though.
Not necessarily, but to me, I associate minimalism with cleanliness. And to me, when things are very cluttered, even if they're organized well, it's just too much in one space, and it makes me feel emotionally like or mentally kind of like unclean. Like there's too much shit going on. So to me, it's like I do it hits me when that line of like cleanliness is next to godliness. I feel that because when I clean my room and I make my shit all minimal, it makes me feel like at peace. Like I'm leveling myself up to a point of like, I don't know. It's just like peace. I just like it. Yeah.
Michael just redid his bedroom.
Sure.
And when I say he redid it, I mean
Your
our
parents.
mom did.
Yeah.
So now well, I'm not impressed about this because it used to be our room, but he made my mom basically like repaint over the way our room used to be,
What
where
color?
it was like the bottom half of the room was blue and the top half was white. And then she had like painted the Maple Leafs logo like onto the wall, but he painted all over that. So now it's like it's basically like two gray walls and then like the back wall's just black basically. So it's very dark.
I like that.
And then he got a new bed, which kind of fits. And then he saw something online. Next time you guys are over, you have to see. But it's basically like a bunch of thin strips of wood going up to the ceiling in like kind of different lengths. So it's almost like a pattern.
I like that kind of.
And then like taking thinner planks and sticking them between some of them to use as shelves and whatever. So now his room is just his bed, like his desk, and that's it.
Yeah, to me, it's like I've always admired when people are just super simple with their shit. Like to me, going home, my room stresses me out. It's very small, and there's just too much shit in there. I got to throw stuff out. There's like a million figurines, a million posters. My shoe racks are kind of disorganized. Like I want like one long shoe rack, and I want one bed, and I want one shelf, and I want one like I want things very simple. I want to have the very minimal that I need. Like to me, I want to function over style, I guess.
Well, sorry, go.
I was just gonna say I like the idea of having all of my like fashion and like dress stuff in my room. Like I have a shoe
I saw it.
closet in my room.
Yeah.
And in my future, whatever it may be in my future room, I want to have like my shoes and everything like just
In
up in my bedroom.
Dude,
yeah.
You know
All
what?
of it.
You know what stresses me
I
out?
just want to get dressed in there and then leave.
You know what? To me, it also reflects my minimalist like ideal is when in my room right now. I have my my closet, like my wardrobe, and it has a bunch of like t-shirts and stuff hung up and button-up shirts, and it's a kind of like a small wardrobe. And I have too much shit, and it kind of all bundles together. Even though they're hung individually, they kind of like it stresses me out looking at it. I'm like, shit, I don't even know what to like. I wish it was like really long, and I had things evenly spaced out, like a nice, so I can even see the front of the shirt, and I don't have to like pull it out.
Yeah, I would love a
check.
huge closet,
Right?
bro. I want a huge walk-in closet so I
Oh,
can have my
dude.
shoes, my.
To me, spaciousness combined with minimalism is the shit. You know,
I hear that.
Anyway,
Although I feel like I'm more of a mix of minimalism and
you want it to be like
maximalism.
balanced.
More balanced, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah, I would go more balanced because I don't know. The thing too with the minimalism thing is I guess it depends, and I'm sure there's ways around it. But I just like, I don't know. I like personality.
Sure.
In my room, I guess.
But to me,
and I feel like you lose some of that if you're trying to make it like minimalist. Like my brother and I's room, which was his room, had personality in the sense of like the Leafs logo painted on the wall and the colors of the room being like blue and white. And now it's just gray and black. Like there's no personality in that.
You can do minimalism with a personality.
That's what I'm gonna say. To me, it doesn't have to be black or white. To me, I can do minimal, but again, only have like a couple of posters on a big wall, or I can have like, a couple of figurines and a couple of things that represent my personality, but like not cluttered is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not like necessarily one or the other.
What's going on?
No.
Ask him.
Why were you staring at him?
Yeah.
Because he was being weird.
Oh.
Why was I being weird?
Why were you being weird?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll check it on the cameras when I'm
Anyway,
editing.
that's basically my topic.
That's basically
we
his
don't have to.
topic.
We don't have to talk more about it. If you guys have anything else to say, feel free. But I've kind of talked about my general idea. It's like, to me, I've loved the idea of minimalism. I see minimalistic rooms like on Instagram and shit. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, which room would you sleep hardest in the night or whatever, and it'll be like 5 different examples of rooms.
Yeah.
And I've always loved the kind of like neutral colored, simple, just like makes me feel at peace. I love it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I see those things too, and I see like some of them. Sometimes they have a caption of which one would your man choose.
Yes.
And I don't have a girlfriend, but I always think to myself like she wouldn't be able to pick like.
Sure.
I always see like I always think like, oh, these are all kind of cool in their own way, kind of thing.
Sure.
So, but it's interesting that you have like your own
I just feel like the
sort of vibe that you're looking for.
I think I can
kinda.
appreciate a cool ass looking room.
Yeah.
Whilst also not wanting it to be my room.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, that looks awesome as hell. I wouldn't want to be in that every single day.
Mm.
Like it's so cool and colorful, but being there all the time, I just get like sick of how in your face it is. Yeah.
Did you celebrate when I said I don't have a girlfriend?
What? I was literally silent and just sitting.
I thought I heard.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the last
that is
thing
my
I'd
topic.
say. Okay, cool.
Then that's the show, folks. Yet again,
Google Podcast.
Google.
Still not. I haven't
We're
checked it in a
on
while,
Google
actually.
Podcasts.
What if we had,
What
like,
was I
10
going to
million?
say?
2 million.
10 million.
10 million.
This has been yet another Wildly Adequate. Yes, Google Podcasts, we're there, as well as platforms people actually use. Spotify, YouTube, the Instagram and TikTok for the socials. Check us out. Like,
Apple
share,
Podcasts.
subscribe. Apple Podcasts, how could I forget?
Logo's glitching out.
Yeah. God damn. It's okay. We're ending the show. I don't have the patience to fix it.
Glitching
Does
end.
anybody have anything to get off their chests before we wrap up here?
No, I do not. You gonna fart? Here we go.
He's getting it off.
It was silent.
Oh, he shat. No,
it
he
was
shat.
silent.
He just
It's on the chair.
crapped himself. Okay, so Patrick crapped himself.
Okay.
Anybody
Socks made a
else?
difference.
Socks made a difference.
Okay. I'm glad no one's gonna get that reference. Go on.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. I guess that's the show. Alrighty then. Goodbye.